Moscow City. Okay, that's the one for Russia. And the one for Belgium is at Kaokuntabire. Stuyenberg Plain, 38. Okay, at Antwerpen. Okay, and that is it. Okay, at Antwerpen. This one is Belgium. Yes. So that is it. Before I go, I want to announce just one announcement before I go. It is the number to call for ESN Investigation Crime Unit. It's IPOB stroke ESN Investigation Crime Unit. So if you have your pain, please make it available, because you have to take this number. It is very, very important. Very, very important. The number is plus 459 149 8677. I repeat, the number is plus 459 149 8677. 8677. So tomorrow's ESN fundraising will be, the one at Moscow will be 3 p.m. The one in Belgium, 4 p.m. So please endeavor to contribute towards this wonderful mission. Our people are doing the needful. They are doing the needful, securing our land. And you read the report from Sahara reporters, where the Nigerian government came to rescue terrorists. This is the country that you live in. The last caller spoke about criminality in Nigeria. The truth is, if you are not a criminal, you cannot survive in Nigeria. If you are not a criminal, you cannot survive in Nigeria. Believe you me. So that is it. From me, from here, I say good night. Thank you very much for being part of this wonderful broadcast this evening. I want to once more thank our leader. I want to thank the DOS. I want to thank our members. The IPOB family. I want to thank everybody for being part of this program this evening. From me, from here, it is good night.
Obodo kenenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Kanyi kenebenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Kenebenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike.
Rulers, aka Ndeze, town union, churches, villages, kindreds, Ndiamala, and all paternal and maternal homes to beg hear our voice and hear our cry in this request to please do the needful now before it is too late. We ask all the people involved to beg, try and bury all the corpses we scatter all over Biafra land. For this one, they should say it they bring us spiritual and physical problem, and now we they suffer, we don't know. When you know the root cause of the sickness, the treatment now don't dey easy. I beg my people.
Now we don't sabi the cause of the sickness. IPOB don't come with the solution.
The research wey you do show say some dead body don't dey up to 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and the death count. Now human being we go bury or na firewood. Everybody where this one concern, we IPOB dey beg una, abeg. Make una do something new, because anybody when person start the journey, when he never reach the destination, in heart no go come down. As we never bury our people, our heart never come down. All the obnoxious high burial demands, competitions, effigy from churches, ndiamala, omuna, in-laws, maternal and paternal homes, when they cause this delay and wahala for our people, I beg, make una try do something. Now all these things they cause, in they build mortuary, like said in they build
joint,
church, filling station everywhere for Biafra land. I beg, mortuary, na factory, na children's amusement park. No. A stitch in time saves 9. With the call therefore, say make everybody try for 3 days when your person kaput, make una bury am. After, una go do the ceremony, una go do the effigy, we follow am.
churches, traditional rulers, and other people that matters, I beg, make una chook mouth and chook eye and help us for this matter.
Because the person when they pursue cow, they call him name. If you no hold the medicine, he go hold the thing when they dose the cow. Now we they call una. And then when una talk, he go stand. I beg my people, make we comot this danger, comot our people from bondage. If una no do something, we the indigenous people of Biafra, under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no go waste time to do the needful so as to remove the yoke and our people from bondage. And soonest we go begin the closure of many mortuaries for Biafra land. The only dead body when we want make it there for mortuary, now the only one
We get case within the treat.
and after they don't finish the whole thing, settle everything, make them bury am. Mortuary no be factory, mortuary no be industry, mortuary no be amusement park again, no be recreational center, no be children's park. Remember, person wey sell land burying dead body don bury 2 cups o. Shey you never know, na we be the owners of the land and we don tell una the time to cleanse our land na now. Make una do the needful, our land go dey calm and our ancestors go happy wherever dem dey.
Now the indigenous people of Biafra under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they bring una this message. Please, our heart they bleed to save our people. Ona bokoko wanu ọhịa ya gakwuru ka osisi ọkọwakwanụ mmadụ ya gakwuru mmadụ ibe ya n'ihi na onye a na-achụ ehi na-akpọpụ ma o ji ọgwụ ya o ji nri ya ebe nwata na-ebe akwa na-atụ aka ma isi nne ya nọrọ ya ke nne ya ga-anọrịrị ya ọkụkọ sị na ihe na-esi aṅụ mmiri lewe anya n'elu na ọ bụ ebe ọnwụ na-egbu ya na-esi abịa. Biko nụ anyị ji ohere a anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụafọ Biafra, indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB na aha mkpimkpi n'okpuru onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị nsọ na-arịọ ndị eze, ndị ụka dị iche iche, ndị ọha obodo dị iche iche, ndị ụmụnne nna, ndị ụmụnne nne na ọsịkwa na ọsịrị ka ha biko nyere anyị aka dịka ugwu ka anyị buru ebele. Nchọnchọ anyị mere gosiri na ozu ndị a niile bụ nke ndị anyị nọ na mọchụarị anyị na-elibere so na-akele anyị ụkwụ na-epile anyị aja na garị. Biko nụ ka anyị mara na ihe anyị ga-eme lipụ ozu ndị a, hapụkwana ihe ndị ọzọ sochiri ya. Anyị lipụchi ozu ndị a nwanne, anyị abịa n'obi emeghakwara ama ndị sochiri ya. Anyị na-arịọ unu onye ọbụla nwụrụ nụ were mkpụrụ ụbọchị 3 lie ya bịa hazie ihe niile, ihe mezikwanara emezi a na-akpọ ya nwa mma. Biko nụ ihe ndị a na-ebutere anyị nsogbu rue na a ga-eji mọchụarị na-akpa anyị ọgba ebe niile, ozu a dọrọ n'ihu, dọrọ n'azụ, dọrọ n'ụlọ, dọrọ n'uko, dọrọ n'usekwu, dọrọ na palọ, dọrọ na senta tebụl. Anyị na-ele ya anya. Chineke igbo ozu mana m ụmụnna ma enwe ike iji ya mere igbe akwa ebe mkpokoro eso dị mma ma eji ihe eme ọla aka. Unu ma ihe m na-ekwu maka na nwata bee nne ya bee nna ya amara na ihe ọ ga-ebe agwụla. Anyị arịọ unu ka unu nwee ike mee ihe ugbu a mgbe chi na-efobere tutu mmiri asọwa ọgba. Anyị ma ihe nji na-ekwu ihe a, ụfọdụ mọchụarị nọ n'ala Biafra anyị ga-emechi ha n'ihi na mọchụarị abụghị ebe ụmụntakịrị na-aga egwuri egwu, ọ bụghị ebe ndị okenye na-aga ezuru ike, ọ bụghị ebe a na-atatụ ihe n'ọnụ ma ọ bụ kwọ ngaji n'eze, ọ bụghị ebe a na-aga nlele ihe eji agba na ntị eji ya agba n'anya. Anyị na-arịọ unu ka unu mee ihe kwesịrị nụ ka ala anyị dere ji, ka obodo anyị dere ji. Unu cheta na onye ọbụla rere ala lie mmadụ oliole ozu labụ ihe abụọ apụle n'ahụ ka anyị nyere unu onwe anyị aka. Ihe meziri emezi a na-akpọ ya nwa mma. Anyị anaghị aba mba ma arịrịọ ka anyị na-arịọ unu ma ọ bụrụ unu na-asịkwanụ na na-agaghị elebara ihe ndị ahụ anya n'otu ọ dị na mbụ ka ọ ga-adịgide, nwanne anyị enweghị ihe ọzọ anyị ga-eme na-abụghị ime ihe kwesịrịnụ, n'ihi na anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụafọ Biafra agaghị anọ ihe eri ọba anyị. Ozi a unu na-anụ ugbu a si n'aka ndị IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, na-abịara unu n'okpuru onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị ya nsọ. Ọ bụ ha na-akụ mgbịrịmgba maka na osisi nwa ọnwụ otu ya afọ ọ nụrụ ka ala ibe ndị
Now, why somebody did not na Finland na-enye order saying no government in exile, then why you declare your armed struggle? What's not self-determination? Now, if you declare armed struggle, get any business in with a sit at home. You may sit at home with civil disobedience. Now, each is able now for civility. How have you ever seen civil servant protest the day? Army cannot protest without a gun because they are armed. Now, army are the for civil disobedience. This is struggle I know. They declare armed struggle have no right to call for civil disobedience, and civil disobedience are not mere enforce. Has I get me enforce? If you enforce it, it is uncivil. Civility cannot be enforced. Civility is by decision. Now, if you enforce it, you are discrediting IPOB in all their sit at home because all voluntarily. Now, you want to show the world none of them enforce discreditation. Now, government did an agenda. Now, ask yourself. Kedu tundi na ekwegi na court ruling, ekwegi na court proceeding, ekwegi na civil disobedience. Sorry, ekwegi na political solution. Okay, my court of political solution. Referendum political solution. Free Nnamdi Kanu conditionally political solution. Right? Now, how come you declare armed struggle, declare no checking point, declare government in exile? Can you declare armed struggle without presenting two army in the uniform? But the director saying no chofu and in a bush or present the ESN. How do somebody in Finland declare government in exile, declare armed struggle without presenting two army or one? That is to say, Africa government because he present the army, government will ask you. On the director present the ESN government because all they play they show. Now, the case of free Nnamdi Kanu ain't anything but violence because court they discharge here. The government, the word on the neck of Nigerian government. Why have you not free Nnamdi Kanu? Because I inhibit in a court they send them bowa, lay court to Nigeria. Now I'm not saying free here. How any reason now wagging Nandine Suzian a woman na southeast. Ima onana watahane. Ubua now government abia project there through Nigerian army. Omar Musa, a 2-division commander, with awful 5 days I get Jebu Bata Fulani. Imona watahana. Fulani will come in. Because when we are alert, I don't know name on Arahan Hibu Batam, Fulani Hamana in a video. Now get raise alarm. Now 5 days Simon on an agenda, on Hanese, non agenda, governor on agenda, can governor has he criminalize IPOB can have holy again. Now how go IPOB Bugaha, all the contract and the Simon. Make sure we become holy again. IPOB wasn't that hate, he cannot have evil. Right? Or the agenda. That is why IPOB needs it at home. Order. Ega hold the governors hand in account there. Ega hold commissioner of police hand in order. Na say better could be all their plan. If you go listen to me one order, I want nobody. All their plan. No warning. All do tonight with him. Haneze be yesterday. Ma but has on Haneze kuoku. Ikuoku si devu ma ya me instruct. Ya me advice. Haneze na bo devu ma. They are supposed to write to the Finnish government. Say no when about why do they tell them? Because all their own business. Now, how can somebody not declare government in exile? Governors have a meeting. But IPOB in order sit at home have a meeting because have an order plan. How do somebody declare armed struggle? Maybe why no way governor okuro? Onwe politician okuro? Onwe foreign affairs, Nigerian foreign affairs Minister of Information Lai Mohammed, Army Chief Defense Minister Madu Jaha Biafra declare government in exile. Biafra. That is the age don't na sega IPOB. But when the order government to why but age don't say IPOB because IPOB can handle na cases able to Kanu. Ndị a na-ekwu okwu aha ha reflect in a case. So government ikpọ ha ọ gaghị enwe meaning. Ndị nọ na charge is director IPOB and ndị nọ na lead IPOB. So ndị need to tarnish IPOB and IPOB need to secure the name because I am very God. How can you endure massacre, national high school killing, 9th of February 2016? Mkpọ massacre 29/30 May 2016 Igago Iguacha massacre IPOB in solidarity with Donald Trump 20 January 2017 Igago Emene massacre, and the first killing of IPOB happened in Onitsha 30th of August 2015 by Willie Obiano. 2 people died, 29 injured. We didn't go to war. Right now, Emene massacre 23rd of August 2020. We didn't go to war. Obiubo massacre from October 18 down 2020. Egagog. We launched ESN. Send the Hano here. Government by Simon Yabuagina Onyohi ESN. Ndị mmadụ na-emebere ya n'Imo abịa na ego signal our men no ụmụọma to turn our people against IPOB. Ka our people si na ihe awụrụ Biafra na ha achọghị ya. That ọ na-adị unu ugbu a mgbe ị gbara ọsọ ka ọ ga-edo gị anya ka ị ga-amacha onye ahụ ị na-eti anya ị ga-emecha achọwa ị ga-ahụ ya. Gọọmenti will save you, but lekwa onye nke ị chọrọ isave gị ebe o were onwe ya dewe. Now ask yourself, how do somebody that want Nnamdi Kanu to be out na ọ dị enye gị date but Biafra ga-abịa? Ọ director ga-enye gị date. Wait, you love Kanu. Isizi agawa anyị na-agazi na anụ ma bi weta Biafra ke Biafra nke Kanu na bi weta. The man lost good family. He gave my Kayama Pata. Can he need date? Now I can't do people. They only to draw hope. Can divert their people because the agenda of the government is Nanakano power. How do you take power? Anaria power. I may try release your game with the power. Divide the Andines. I can't way up will be in your way structure. Up will be structure and strength here. Oman any other no God. Now somebody abia say gegela anybody in DSS ki inwe ike gewe ya want. Somebody agwage na ye wan spokesperson Biafra. Why na nwete be Biafra? Why na mapo afọ publicity secretary IPOB? Ebe na Biafra enwe market leaders. Ha nwekwe their spokesperson. Enwe politicians, ha nwekwe their spokesperson. Enwe religious leaders, ha nwekwe their spokesperson. How come if the Wednesday spokesperson dey Biafra go and make we appoint? And we go Biafra government, EJ appointment the name of Biafra. Then you are mocking the Biafra. Because in a one na Biafra in with the name we go appointment. You are trying to ridicule us. Did you understand? Why name an Abia Biafra agitation? Name we Masob, and we BIM, and we BZDM, and we EPC, Eastern People's Congress, and we BNL, and we BNG. Then in a Biafra, Biafra be my country here, doctor. Right? How? I want to have to don't worry. How we fit? How na don't worry. Why did you make Kanu attach? I was a Masobian. Kanu was only Masob. Mbe creatory IPOB. You were trying to Masob there. Why somebody did you itanisha hanya? Asking how was autopilot? Do you know the meaning of autopilot? Plane without pilot. That is to say, automatically you become a fool. You don't have leadership. You don't have channel. In your chumba, can you join here? At when how director always in done it. Did you understand? So that is the issue. How do you come in the month of December? Director and all days Ozelo Zokombozi, Ozela Barrister make Jofozi, Zo Barrister Jofozi, Bagin and Dine May and a government is Rohazo. My young Amerigo case here. Oh, Amerigo na UN, Ojuku log 3 years UN 80 gone. But such an IPOB hold international law for 1 year upon intimidation not here. UN 80 on. But Ojuku Chok 80 on 80 gone. But the director maintain area, hat on. I got a court to Nigeria no more. State High Court on my 19th of January 2022. Court a rule that na Nnamdi Kanu Abagoso. No jump bell. No mere assassination attempt. No mere escape as military assassination attempt. Or no mere escape. And the government got compensated. In nature the ruling. Nigeria may go back. I got a court. I decided I can't see no one you na court obula and no way court to get direct again. No way see get then Nigeria disobey. I got federal high court on my court decided I said return not back to Kenya. Now only get that na ya mere enforce sit at home Monday for 1 year. Out of this result now, one the reflection. We both reflect na friend Nnamdi Kanu. Now, he made an account ndiki iburebu Monday for 1 year. If free begin ndiki egari men force it at home nananga, hundreds of them. Nchoro ka IPOB free ha anya asege mbe ime onye anyere ga odaga kuya. let them send you a lawyer. Okay, no nanga, but IPOB no nanga, we send lawyer. Then when you gaga me madam force in nanga, or just say or send the picture again on net, can go to the edge, or joke on the or joke, yeah, because say give me also email account to email 1 year. Because the whole result to free Nnamdi Kanu from court, from the same IPOB leadership, according to the direction from Nnamdi Kanu. Only a criminal gang on a detention. Criminal gang here actually has adopted without him make omara. Only not freedom. He can make omara. You go with the freedom much. You can't take Kanu nega choto shapta no way power. He choto shapta. Ogaroshi. So he defeat to do anyhow with his name. Now you want to on a guy that says you want to ridicule it. But Sam, before him me haga what director. You only have instruction. You was saying you want to do. Leadership of IPOB with a rule director on a table. He send their director. All like you wait 2 weeks before you reply them. Because all you had in charge. More reply, but they can't give order. So, somebody not that is to say they want to take power from him, right? Yeah, with the foundation now. Self-determination can you go do already. It's already self-defense.
And self-defense.
Self-defense. The director said, ESN will do this for us. Now, how do we do it? Before we do it, we need to create the scenario of Yemen, the scenario of Somalia, the scenario of Syria, in the northern part of the damnable Republic of the Zoo, not in Biafra land, sorry. Ebage create that noise. Also, no, northern part. Not here. Did you understand? Now, again. They want to force us into premature war, but we are more intelligent than them. What we have to do is, we have to be patient and follow instruction. That's how they forced our fathers into war after Aburi Accord agreement. Okay, when I forced Ojuku into war. Now, self-defense has been a natural law. No matter where you defend yourself. But you cannot instigate a trouble against your whole family. You want to dodge. If you want to defend yourself, you got to defend your own. Each is family against Did you understand? Now, self-defense. Why you launch the ESN? According to international law, it's an ESN township. ESN roll here, Naya Dageu. Do you know why? I get you make an ESN no help. I buy book. Director send that no help. But how would I say money? But you want an ESN on our communities. Why not coordinate with channel to ESN? Don't worry. I can equip self-defense. I'm separate. Self-determination. Decide that he got warrior referendum. Or your self-determination. Self-defense. Mado biari bugi get defend your own way. Now, Nigerian army. Now sponsor Fulani to kill us. I have launched ESN to defend our boundaries. Here the ESN will restoring Biafra 2020. Here no since we defense, but we are defending it international because since they care about with security in Kanu, no one involved in our politics. Only ESN, and they be send the how na boundaries. Boundary what that all here. Right? Now this township can Nigeria actually move at Ogwanya Johagawa here. And how Japan no here because Hamana or gauge IPOB or less Maloreba before Jidan. That's why the director send the army. So self-defense and self-determination are the issue. And the self-defense I may apply. Now, is it when you come to your community, army available your community, or when you get the army? Which means army sent you. Because he cannot stand the army. And there's a saying now our man. That is confusion. How can in a burial somebody be an agego? Just saying now I'm why not ESN on that time? They might have big. Simon help ESN or IPOB or whoop the IPOB. Director say, gay auntie, singing gay my ego, Yoruba. Listen to Omote. Biafra. Listen to Ikenga Uruagu. Listen to Ikem Patrick. How do about 20 directors as agent or say take instruction from them? Now, director suspend them at Radio Biafra. Memo, I will director get memo. Onye get memo HODOS. And onye can sign here with HOD upon not direct on your order. Now let us go to 025 POB. Again at the beginning of oath, that I, Mazi solemnly and voluntarily swear to be absolutely loyal to the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu there first. Mboya dere, but onye before, onye ihe opuzo tie with DOS. Na the oath he take go to O radio. Abia tie komabia sigi and Nnamdi Kanu, director of Radio Biafra. Ihule bo banye. Now, ya chuo mmadụ onye ga-assign ya DOS. Yotla the key. Tutu gini, ya nwa general commander, but all man he ga-ejide at any time. Then the government will be there. Oh, Hebrew started. Oh, Hebrew Abiola. He went structure. When they catch you, your friends will run away. Because of politics. When you run away, they will kill you. But this one is not friends. This is a structure. Now, government want to destroy it completely. Then in anything, a project, directors have now infiltrator and moles. Government project her for years. After having cause of failure, 4 more tripod, 4 more iPod, 4 more Radio International. Yeah, failure. Kuba now. How with Tezego, making sure that people buy an IPOB no go do already. How many years I plan to kidnap director? Uzbek kidnap their hand strike here with allegation. Can the allegation? He hated the leadership, then director knows alone. He hated higher happy and alone. And when he got off time, who join Nigeria with the structure, not individual. The structure, no one who lay you get him, no one get him. And the case in Nigeria now, on a wine diagram, how is here Nigeria? Nigeria report line is here and he may country by country. So, Elaine was it your age?
Another thing, based on
can me address our people man no life. Thank you. I remain the fearless IPOB evangelist Mazi. I am broadcasting from Biafra land, right here from our homeland Radio Biafra. Here in Biafra land, I guess today is the 8th day of December 2022. Thank you. I am here with our people somewhere in Biafra land, unmentioned, as we continue to enlighten our people, to inform them of the things in our hand on how to restore Biafra that will be honorable before the eyes of God, not in a criminal manner. Thank you for joining us as we are interacting with our people here. Right? We don't get their faces. Thank you. Go ahead.
From the viewer and from the questions now gather from people to know.
Okay. Okay.
I see now Mazi, Simon, no me hijack the fund erase by Omadike. So when I juicy go to Mazi Simon, she hijacked the fund of IPOB from our finance head. So, to counter the young man. But I see there is no how. Simon, Akajidina fund. Thank you.
Fund IPOB teacher.
Okay.
Then raise the fund. Now IPOB. You tell me now. No, but I gaga where I have business raise the ego. Hello, Tigard. I joined them at Asin. One is a matter before I raise a fund, meet you, no yaga sign here. So that I got there accountable to. Some people need anyhow Biafra. We never need anyhow Biafra. Anyhow Biafra is like Nigeria. Are you aware? Biafra has rough my direct on it with one high chop. And I met Ibo. Government cannot send you to turn our people against us. Before IPOB and your other sit at home, Hana consult national coordinator. Are you aware? How matter condition of our people? Okay, it's not at any other. And you touch and I reply your leadership. Hasemba. Na haga happy. Na haga use another method. Okay, because Nanka get make it in the now John Wiggy came and say, oh, yana director na rukor. Nnamdi Kanu lecture annual event. My annual event. Oto 25 December no. A ruo 25, a change it to 26. You want to get boom. But Nnamdi Kanu made last year. Because not stored the Biafra 20 years. In my home, that 30 May my Sunday. That on Friday, signs or high gary, Nabali Saturday, now has Saturday, no Kusigo, no more going out. Yamecha, large back in Nabali Saturday, Biame broker, Semba. Okay, large in a Friday, yes. Saturday morning, call larges. Messiah broker, Sina. Nayage, Messiah Sunday, Nage shift here Monday. Reason that our people are too religious. So that people should go to church. How do our fallen heroes say, but one Diana was at home. Why in the Agenese sit at home Sunday? Bagging off Nnamdi Kanu. That had Jebe. Onye Jebe call for sit at home. You will go to Abuja DSS rescue our leader, not putting our people on fire. IPOB choose court, they go to Abuja court. You want to choose Rebe, go to DSS. That is how it is done. You don't threaten our people. This is Igbo people actually as a slave. How to go on a million war. The same people can actually frustrate people. We without referendum has to go to hell with your referendum. There is something you do to an Igbo man, they will reject you. Imagine that now. And I be frustrate our people. And a job behind about time.
For long, I lack information. And the Biafra. For long, then is it's not working.
On our road, that's land is not working. Ega Sina. I'm live. Don't worry, our people, man, don't worry. Now,
that's all I need.
Here could radio Biafra. Oh, he get cool that comes. I give you love FM. Give me a check with Magic FM. They can each check with you another one. Let us address Radio Biafra. They on 247. Come on now. I know log good believe. Him at the radio was strength. Osbej the director. Ajam radio Abia. Gaba right. Abia mezie on our covers everywhere. On a kucha, on a kunaba, but on our cover everywhere. Radio Biafra the Kanu on it and only you different and no do IPOB community radio on but you can get you program the on. Working by games okay. I am right don't nobody should expect completeness. Oh one but Nigeria we has work. Okay? But owo onwe he buying oil. And you the resources. Right? I na-elikwozu ndị a na-egbu. I na sponsor kwa ndị nọ n'ọhịa. I na sponsor kwa legal proceedings. I na sponsor kwa everything. Onwekwe be go dị ọ na-akpa anyị. So, ọ otu a ka o si dị. Ihe ị ga-eme that na ị gaa na newspaper. Ị ga-ahụ na IPOB si no sit at home. News ebuge. And Nigeria dey go weak. Ị ma ihe anyị ga-eme ya. Onwezi ihe ọ bụla i mere ga-ebugide ya ka anyị na-eme na anyị na-ebere gị akwa. Ihe anyị jikwa na-agwa gị ihe awụ so that echi ga-blame director na onwe ihe ọ gwara gị. Ọ ya mere o ji ma allow ya zicha ụmụnne ya ya bịazie ndị IPOB leadership ikwetebeghị lawyer ikweteghị ya cherecha ha akparịcha nwunye ya sị nwunye ngwa ga-agwazie ha okwu. Ịnọ here na-eti mkpu ịma na nwunye director gara ahụ ya na DSS. Jugodo onwe gị kedu ihe ụta IPOB leadership shi mee ya ga-ahụ ya ejideghị ya. Ihe mba na-agba jụọ onwe gị kedu otu esi secure ya 2 times seat our leader a week or this ambazoni ama ebe their leader no because ha no arm struggle director no arm struggle ga am ebe ono achofu barak dewe otari ihe na-eme there now 2 times seat a week gburu Nigeria ịta ya ahụ taa echi nwanne echi lawyer bịa ya ọgwụ ya hụrụ onye akpọpụ ya court ọ dọrọ m aka n'akwa oh, now Nigeria regret is that because can happen here can haji deny ya isend ya kuje ugbu na anyị na-ahụzi na mechazi gwazi Simon to take the mind away from our leader that they should not listen to anybody in DSS, that they should do everything to free him. That is stupidity. Only a criminal can get me like that, not an international man. The lawyer. You must meet him. The lawyer na one hocha director, man not director with their strength. Onye guy there, Ebauru. na ịwụ san ime itie ya ọgwa ihe ị ga-eme na kesi ya ga-aba uru ihe a na-achọ emetụbeghị brain odogwu ka esi m hapụ na m egele ya ntị na-ege nne gị ka nna gị ntị odogwu was missing for 1 year and emere ụlọ ya attack na Ụmụahịa ejukwara ebe ọ nọ the same leadership ha edere ya n'Israel nke ugbu a ya nọ 8 days ha jụọ gị ka ihe leadership na-eme ha ma ebe awa leader nọ 8 days ejukwa anyị ka ebe ọ nọ 1 year stupidity of a black man 1 year anyị nọ na-eme campaign ha bụ ya anya ozu director 1 year esikwa na sabotage 8 days ka esi anyị gwa gị ihe mere director ugbu a ha na-aga court ka ihe director ji aga court ma ọ bụ na anyị likiri gị secret ihe mere some people na-agba over speed and igbo over speed emu Ishmael ọ ihe mere Abraham ihe ịkpa alakpu ha ga and ihe ha ga amụwa Ishmael and all confusion because ị na-agba ụzọ ị na-amaghị ụzọ ị na-ama ụzọ ị na-agba ụzọ ị na-agba ụzọ ị na-amaghị ụzọ ị na-agbabe before ị ga-amebe pothole ụlọ ị need over speed ị ga-amebe sharp bending nọ here none at the matter. This is Ogwai story. They brought it to our fathers. Hand no defense. Hand chopping in defense again. Defense again our daughter kubwa. Ibale gbelu amabia. Amabia haga alaza. They will molest you. Again we ga abia zekwe ba defend our people. Elagbo na ebe akwa. Kende ga akpo DOS. But oge gbalire egbe. DOS ogwa ge gbali egbe. The same people who send agent ka agbali egbe na community ga agbali ha agba ọsọ amabia ha sị DOS should send our men around agbage mgbe ị gara ịgbali egbe egwara ha na ị na-agbali egbe you that shoot gun they are not defend there no because you are an agent so onye nwere question ya jụọ ihe IPOB na do Biafra anyị nwere IPOB registered in different part of the world now some people get confused onwe ha sị na everybody born in the eastern region of Biafra is IPOB by birth. Yes. But in when right, he discuss IPOB structure. He get discuss Biafra. Do you know why? Dave Umahi IPOB by birth. Also them are IPOB by birth. But he is not led by Nnamdi Kanu. He will IPOB Nnamdi Kanu they took oath. But the whole Biafran sana carry her along. The director say carry her along. Ubochi o rutere gị na ị ga-arụ ọrụ gị rụọ. How? Enwere ike nye order sit at home isoro go. Owu must na ị ga wipe your family member. Ịghọta ihe nọ there. Now otu a ka ọ dị na religion ma Christianity. Ị nwere ike discuss ihe gbasara anyị na-discuss Christ, you will join. It doesn't matter your church. Anyị na-discuss Bible, you will join. Anyị na-discuss heaven, you will join. Maka ihe jikọrọ anya ọnụ. And they discuss Christianity, you join. But in the Catholic discuss watch a plate, you get in assembly be condemn boy. Oh, your business maka nke na-eme ha condemn be. Ị ga-abịa na Catholic ha wepụ Mary. Ọ mgbe ha gwara gị na Bible a na nwere ọzọ arọ ga-egwu ha wetagodi eke ịhụ because ọ ihe unu kwekọrịtara. Church doctrine ọwụ ihe unu kwekọrịtara different by different. Otu aka ọ dịkwa na IPOB. Ị na-adọ nwere enwe ma shop enwe ndị ọzọ. Ọ na Simon ha chọrọ ịdọ nwere onwe na ikwe na director. I use aha gị. Don't bring Kanu closer because in your believe I got guy there. Near account of it. You can't use my name him na get more account. In account on me. Onye ha na etikwe mgbe no onye odiri, gi na emekwe na aha ya. Then you are evil. The only thing I confuse unu na akpọ Biafra, itiwe mkpu, you can't reason. Na madu tri Biafra gwa gi freedom under government plan does not mean no onye ahụ ịdị intelligent, ịmana onye ahụ na-ewetara gị. Na mmadụ na-ewetara gị destruction ị na-eti mkpu ya dị ka ị ga-ahụ onye ahụ echi ka ọ bịa defend ya gị. Kedu village ya ka ebe ụlọ ha nọ amị ọgago park ya n'ụlọ ha before but amị na park n'ụlọ Benjamin Madubug amị ma ụlọ ka anụ ha kedu adreesị onye ị na-eche ị na-ege ntị kedu village ya kedu direct be nna ya mụghachi from ndị Agbo I'm from ndị Agbo and any local government Oji River province Biafra land the whole world maara m ebe m si kedu ebe isi ka m wepụtara gị tweet Shehu Sani sị gị Eba from Black India. Eba reply ya Shehu from Southern Sudan. Why not reply onye ebe Shehu Sani from Kaduna. Ada amakwa ama. This was projected. This is a man who said Nnamdi Kanu na ọ ga-ayi apology maka ihe mere ike ekwere mmadụ. Ada amakwa ama. Simon Ekpa na video Oh, yeah, but after he will be video, get us say now. Okay. Nnamdi Kanu, na ga ya apology to Ekwuremadu. Ihe mere na Germany. Kwa ya nwa tweet si na ndị a na-eme ado Biafra anaghị disturb business ndị mmadụ. Ihe afa back tweet ya na ha miscreant. Na what ese eme Biafra. After emechara Ekwuremadu ihe a, ha niile ọ nọ there. O so ha bịa. He was there with Ekwuremadu ha. Ọ nwa ndị isi ọhaneze na Finland. Simon was there. E mere interview ka ihe ọhụrụ. Ya sịrị ihe mere ya adịghị mma. Na Kanu ga ya apology. Ebe nke a nọ mee the meeting. Ekwuremadu ha nọ. A planụzie ka store ya. Ha bịa project ihe onye nọ na platform ya. Emere Atiku campaign 2019. Ha sizi okay ka channel to Biafra. Ha weteweze exposition from Nigerian politics. Abịa ha eweta ihe onye Hausa ma onye Fulani mere nye ya gụọ na exposition to attract you. Ozugbo emere attract, ha plot ndị ga-meet director recommend onye atọ ya nwa. Ha nwekwa ndị meet director recommend ya ka onye a nọ na platform ya ka ọ bịa dị mee interview. Enwe ihe anyị na-ahụla na struggle, then ịma na ihe ahụ na-aka ahụhụ struggle. Unu just hang ya n'elu. Mmadụ gbali egbe elu ịmali, hey our men, ịmaghị the danger. So ọ dị gị ka director command anyị mebiwe ha, ya ga-emebi. Kedu the repercussion? The world will condemn you. Because away here sign. If I sign here no open. You got sign self-determination, be bully arm. Big a bully arm will be made self-determination. How also when we reach to the last point and there is no other route to follow, then we'll strike. By then we have followed the due procedures. What they did to our father is what they want to do to us. Global conspiracy. Russia block Goye. Here we don't go meeting us of our oil. The only channel when now oil line, you can hand in Nigeria naba, and I say my terrorists. I bought somewhere under 5 days, including Sunday. By forcing, I have to release Kanu. I will terrorists. Educate terrorists now share the oil. America bring Nigeria to Kanu a fighter to fight terrorists. Use bear. Why? IPOB draw to US government. Sihana na terrorists are no ever. No anyone can actually do why na Yoruba. US are nezo that say use Kwalena East, use Lana South. Since I use Ghana North. They now want to create a scenario that the whole world man na with terrorists, name insurgents in Alibo. So that I wasn't okay or I use it here. But unamage, unana akwaka onwoge. As if ne kai nwe obi ana agba egbe. Ndị ami atuda anyị egbe n'ugwu ọcha ya nọ na-ele ha sị ha shoot. Ika anyị nwe obi. Ika anyị nwe obi agbanyo okirikiri na National High School anyị ka nọkwa na-akụ aka. Enye anyị ọda na mmadụ niile agba ọsọ, gọvanọ niile agba ọsọ. They knew.
Yes.
Ugbu a na mmadụ niile agba ọsọ, ịnụ ha na oke ọ gwara IPOB nyere sitatu mana trouble ga-adị. Ndị ụka ga-ekwu okwu. On them ndị nyere ọda Monday, Tuesday sitatu. Right? Ha na-enye different illegal and onwebe nke rụrụ ọrụ. Duto no ihe ederede ime nke a ikwo nke a agafe ikwo nke a agafe ikwo ị ga-ekwukwe result edekwa after mo hapụrụ because ede ihe ederede wote sheme ya ikwo nke a agafe ikwo nke a agafe ikwo nke a agafe October ka agwa gị na flag ga nọ the Biafra land ihe a niile ị na-emego obi ọma anyị adịghị ime mmadụ obi ọma Directors anyị akọla mmadụ ihe na-aga eme ka anyị gwa ya otu ọ dị iwe ọ na-enwe gị onwe gị anọkọta bịa mee gị obi ụtọ na Biafra na-abịa mgbe mmadụ nye gị deeti Biafra ọ mgbe ị ga-agawara onwe gị mgbe mmadụ nye gị deeti mgbe Biafra na-abịa na-agụrụ gị ya gwazie gị na ọ chọ ka director pụta ọ ka ọ pụta bịa restore ya gịnịkwanụ ebe gị nwa na-enwela Biafra nwee deeti mgbe ọ ga-abịa ga-ezikwana ihe director na-abịa ifrize kwuo udo dị ajụ ka ị ga-ajụ ọmụ ajụ broadcast
o nwere okwu Simon Ekpaku mgbe a ejide Mazi na Kenya ọ na-aba mba sị kedu ihe mere na DOS ejide Kanu for 8 days onwere ka ha si wee chọpụta na-eji ya onye isi para mata na-ekwu na DOS ri bribe anagbe m ya na ọnụ Tina Samoru
na gịnị mekwe
na ọ na-defend ndị onwe na Nigeria na asị na highly bribe.
Only point to get or 8 days because
8 days.
But you never see so yeah. Lanya nelu. Mekucha ya get large eba. Kam large kwe. Ima na onwe mmụọ na-anọ m n'ihu, ọ na-anọ m n'ime, ọ na-aba masa question ụfọdụ na mmadụ n'obi. Because I'm on nigga, asatala m ọtụtụ question. Enwe mmụọ na-edu. I am a broadcaster. But m nọ here gwa gị na director na-emere ụlọ ya attack na ụmụ ahụ. Ya nọ na September 14. Mgbe o mere appear in Israel October 14, 2018, but nke a 27, 1 year, gịnị mere jukwa anyị ebe ọ nọ 1 year? Onye ri bribe 1 year? Kedu onye ri bribe 1 year buga direct Israel? Ọ ha anyị na-ajụ. Ejukwara ya ndị ahụ. So direct ịma nọ supreme leader ma na-emere statement. Banyo ha ga-eme Facebook ga-eme ihe attack. Don't you know na name director statement. Ụbọchị Osokome nwa ya na-agba nkwụ, nwa ya na-alụ onye Ọnịcha. Director jiri Ejiofọ ka ọ ga represent director. Na occasion na onye akpọrọ Nnamdi Kanu. But represented by Ejiofọ. Ịghọtara. Ịgbawa egbe ghọọ terrorist, barrister ga-visit director. Terrorist a na-enwe lawyer. Ihe a otu ihe nyere Simon ha n'aka. Ịgbawa egbe onwe ihe ga-emewe Nigerian gọọmenti agwazie gị na Nigerian intelligence na Abuja na ha chọpụtago na ESN chọrọ ịbịa ma attack at DSS facility. And na ha chọrọ ike ịpụ Kanu in a safe place. By then ebuji ya jaji barak. Ụtụtụ enye mamịrị. Terrorist does not have lawyer. Terrorist does not have lawyer, but to have lawyers. Did you understand? So 8 days ahụ jụzie onwe gị onye ahụ na-agwa gị ma onye ahụ na-eme mmadụ niile ma nwunye director onye oshi o rere director ndị be director rere ya IPOB leadership rere director lawyers rere director ya nwa wụzie holy man. No, I want to know now. Director ụkwa ndị ahụ ka ọ na-use na-esecure vetri gị nwa awụzi holy man nwebe ihe i nyere ya ọkwa the same lawyers na-esecure ya vetri iji Nigeria n'olu ịma na court rulings in Nigeria. Ọ ya mere ha ji nye Simon Ekpa agenda of election. That is their only escape route to make sure na asị na IPOB tiri aka na disruption of election which is against civil rights and against international law. Mmere na IPOB ji gwa ha na eti ebe ọnụ n'ihe election ihe a chọrọ referendum ha ya na-eti mkpa election since emecha gwa ya ga-ebe a na-eme campaign na ya dị ndị ga-eyi okpu Biafra ga mee attack asịkwa IPOB ya sịrị na ọwụwa anyị nwe Reno Mokiri ọchị ime Peter Obi attack ya kwuo IPOB sit at home ya okwu IPOB ya okwuta IPOB ya okwuta o mekiri chọ ha chọrọ ka IPOB join ya Peter Obi we fail ha chọrọ ka anyị kanta election esi ha na election ha egbuwe politician ha gbuo asa IPOB. I mean, why idea? But Simon Etina election, Owutebe, do to again. How many ha 70% of followers already? From Loretta Onochie, contracted student union, a go phone nya. Onye Fulani na Zahi Igbo na Facebook. The whole Facebook will Loretta Onochie mepere. Log in na phone. Nyecha ahia, ana akwu ha 14,000, ndị 15, ndị 30. Ihe ama we bebe Simon na-ekwu. All the way Simon all the joy ya ihe ọ maghị ya. Just na ihe agwara ya dị ọgụla. Or you telling us we don't know? Gwa m nke ị ga-agwa anyị na-amaghị. Onweghị meaning na IPOB ekwu gị na ọ dịghị. If somebody chọrọ force gị into criminality, how you ga-eji eme ihe na-enweghị meaning? You want to kill yourself by yourself. A whole director lelechara hụ na Monday ga-ejide ya n'olu. Any court i wegara ikpegbuo ya. Ịma ihe o mere? Or suspend the IPOB leadership. Or cancel gị the sit at home Monday. Ịma ihe o mere? Yeah, move ya. Suspend their Monday. Move to the date of court. Experienced man. Do you know what it means? It is all the easy to explain to anybody that now my people are in solidarity with me because I goes to court. Now, okay, your statement on Monday. Now ask yourself, why did Nnamdi Kanu suspended it? Government agwaze Simon Hajirim Bank commit a crime. Now I commit a crime. The media saw IPOB. IPOB has seen a one ham. Then Simon Haga become seen a one. Your dodge kwa rukwe next Monday hate we. Echim ko ime ihe egwu nwe otuto. Enye mmadụ otuto ye ga simba na ọmụnwa nwe ya. Now we not test in IPOB otuto ha reject ya dị otuto. For 1 year you take it otuto. Inyebe kwa na account ka emere eme. But IPOB DESN ka eme enforce open grazing ma ụlọ ọkpa. Fulani to mgbe ha gwaghị na ọha nwa mere ya. No ESN mere ege megene. Ụbọchị send go ESN na Nsụka egosi video na send go ESN. It is not a criminal manner ka ị na-eme. A na-eme criminality. Do you know na people che na ESN one non-government? But I won't know yet. So these are things people like 70% now ESN. But why we cheered the non-government earlier is because I want as the answer to our prayer. Because I be like governor Azari, senator Azari, I look at how they may attack government. That was not the one. About none there can attack. No problem. Not watching like it. Did you understand? Now, after her charia, Indian Kuba now they are not go burial. Okay, non-government. And Hanagi has how ESN. Imagine a criminal that cannot be proud to commit crime with his as a name of criminal. Only a criminal on a JD card. How come you come to collect ransom? No, you ESN. Then you were plotted by the governors. All these criminals, Simon Amaha initially. The names, the contact in the Naka governor. Only with a criminal and the political talks there and hand that over to Yawa. Call them and give them order to commit crime. Simple. Many don't know them. But ESN have a reform. ESN will shorty. ESN I am only about ESN personnel a bush. So what we are doing is so that Biafra, had we allowed them to destroy ESN, villages carry protest. I saw ESN, and those both BBC Iburia, you are gone. But I make it sure. Now I don't make crime. You go down where you low to Madushi on Ali, only Igbo, and she declare armed struggle. No, na Israel, governor Ekuoku. But I feel be governor Wunok because they gave the instruction. You know, to Madushi declare my government in Israel. Usbi declare I'm a bidobuani. Usbi declare I'm a bidobuani. But he declared he go see army. That is fake. And they mention 2, 3, or 4 cabinets, which your people will appoint for you. Your people will appoint for you because you will discuss with your people in any other hand. Or enforcement. Civility cannot be enforced. And you can't enforce it at home. Or you are civil. If you enforce it, it's not civil. And you make campaign here already. So maybe I was a civil. Now let me sit at home. I made it voluntarily. No akan. The whole violence condemned that peaceful one I made Nayad. Do you know why? When we put a press release in a town Monday, now you are in charge. But I feel be a map of a press release. On your press release, you and the press release, file lawyer. Are you aware? Now, a man in neighbor Monday, my neighbor that IPOB, a man I defend the UN. Each and every back on any newspaper. When I paper any UN. Oza be IPOB, a map of a press release to counter it. My people are more than all. When we hide the challenge fool. In my IPOB measure, I use the normal law. Normal law, they high one. Ni one man na bia anyoshe na zologi jidea maka ajola mma ha se na wo ha happy obi ku onya na me first sit at home I say na wo anyi ihu ya jidea Nigerian police may arrest now ndị ahụ na-emezi Simon hate hey when did the DOS started working with DSS they told police to arrest our men na ali igba na ho na onye oshi ana ho na criminal. How come obodo ka na-ebe akwa iko nsọ but obodo na-aṅụ ọṅụ na bebe nwụrụ na-aṅụ ọṅụ baby bush na-aṅụ ọṅụ na double lion nwụrụ onye oshi nwụọ aṅụ ọṅụ ezigbo mmadụ nwụọ eno n'uju iko nsọ erichabe uju but ndị oshi niile awụ obodo na-eweta information na onye oshi but iko nsọ wụ politician wetara information obodo ekwe weta information because onye na-eche ha but in a disturb obodo all the ordinary person get with information about ejide. Do you see why those criminals these in Nigeria? We don't ESN na agbali egbe ejide ha on back IGBT in Nigeria. Anya bia se ha na ịhụ ha jide ya ha mekwa isi na YPOB na IPOB ha si oke na anyị ga-akpa aha ndị ahụ na-eme ihe ahụ ma ọ bụ na ha akwụsịghị ya Simon ekpa ha sị ya mewe ha mewe anyị asịsị oke ka anyị kpaa aha ha anyị akpọzi aha ha sị they are calling the names of our men on radio for the army to catch them. Did you understand? Mgbe ọbụla ịkpọrọ meeting n'obodo ka fight ya criminal ndị na-aghasa ya wụ ndị ahụ na-akọmiti mgbe ọbụla plan for echekwa ebe a onye ọbụla aghasara ya ọha nwa wụ ndị na-akọmit crime. So ihe a na-emewu ka anyị na-edo ndị mmadụ anya because director adịghị after ma ị lọsụrụ but ihe ọ ga-eje ejidego ihe ndị anyị gwara gị. So ọhịa m na-agwa unu m jọsụrụ gbabata ebe a eji too mmasị ka m dotu anya so unu jichi ike onye gwara gị na enwere sit at home gwakwa ya na ọ onye iro gị o. 1 mmadụ emetụbeghị director onye dị mmegbu ọ nọkwa dị na-eti ya enwekwa rekọdụ Nnaemeka ziri o sendịrị mapụ afọ mmecha ugbu a mee play kwari unu nke esendịrị mapụ afọ from barista Nnaemeka Ejiofọ ka m play yari unu ma emecha. Thank you ụmụ Chineke. I will be bringing it to an end from here. Ka Chukwu abịa ma gọzie unu ebe ọbụla unu nọ. Ihe kacha wụ favor ọkwa favor ka o nyere Joseph to the extent that na Potiphar chọpụtara na Joseph nwee favor. Ọkwa ya ka the same Joseph ji gaa na nke Fero ahụkwa favor. Ọ ya ka anyị na-ayọ n'isi unu ka favor ya dakwasị unu nwa bekee hụ unu ka o lefekwere n'anya na ebubo Naijiria bụrụ anyị na-eme ha hụ unu ha na-enyo unu ka Chineke nye unu ihu ọma ebe ọbụla unu nọ. Ndị ka nọkwa n'ala Biafra onwe ndị iro n'ebe a bịara igbu anyị ịmakwa otu isi na-emehie ya ihu ha na ngwa ọgụ ha nọ hie since ha mere ihe ezi ha egbuchabeghị anyị eze udo mewekwenụ ya nara ekele n'ihi na iji Nnamdi Kanu zodo ha okwu n'isi nara ekele otu isi mee ha disobey court order imele eze udo n'ihi na anyị ma no last miracle. Director sị na ha ga-eme ihe niile kwụsị anyị ọkwa na ya ka ha na-eme ọ sị na ha ga-agba mbọ niile na ọ gaghị awọk. Nara ekele nara otuto ihe anyị na-eji akpọ gị bụ n'oge ka o prezentịrị ọ sị na ọ gị nwa ọhụkwana onye ọzọ na-egosila anya ọ gị nwa Chukwu abịa ma mgbe ọbụla anyị abịakwute gị anyị jichi gị ike ụta Elijah jijisie gị ike mgbe ha chọrọ ịkpọ chi ga-eji ọkụ eri aja. Elijah nwee ihe ọ gwara gị ọ sị na ọ bụ n'ime ala fere Baal were ọkụ rie aja n'ugwu ga alago because na ịma na Baal na-ejikwa ọkụ eri aja. Ọkwa ya nwa mere iji gbanyụọ ọkụ ndị amụma Baal ma elu ma ala ọkụ enwughị. Ọkwa ya ka anyị nyere gị Chineke anyị nwekwere gị nke a n'olu na anyị ga-eji Biafra efe gị ọ gwụla onwe ihe ọzọ ka ụmụ anyị gwa ndị mmadụ na e nwere chi maka ha echefugo chi imele eze udo n'ihi na ebuchi lakwa ndị iro anyị n'iyi ma ndị ka ịka na-ezo ezo mekwa ka ha pụta anyị na-atụ ụjọ ihe anyị nidiri yuzu anyị eyuzula sọsọ angel anyị dị ready maka anyị dị capable so ndị na-ezo ezo mee ka ha pụta ihe so that mgbe director ga-apụta ka ọ na ya alụgbuola ha ka director hụ free way ka o nwee ike duru anyị gawa n'aha gị chi ukwu okike abịa amara pụrụ ime ihe niile we have prayed. Ise. Thank you ụmụ Chineke. From me the fearless IPOB evangelist Mazi Nwachukwu, and from here our homeland radio Biafra. It is
It is 1:42.
Okay, it is good afternoon. Thank you ụmụ Chineke.
What I'm going to share with you is the ongoing history of how Biafra came about. And it's not something we rush through because history has been denied in the school, and therefore people grew up not knowing what actually happened. I'm not going to say, everything that I speak to you, I was there. No, nobody could possibly be there. But we are so blessed and so privileged to have the Eastern Nigerian government at the time. They took their time to record what happened to our people. So, what did they do? They went about to establish a tribunal. This tribunal is to allow those who survived the pogrom to come and give eyewitness accounts of what they went through. They were cross-examined. They were under oath in front of the High Court judge, the Chief Justice. The Chinedu New Case Commission was targeted at getting at the bottom of the truth of what happened to our people. So it's a worthy read. I wish one day in every Biafran school we will have this commission report called the Massacre of Nnamdi in 1966. Is anybody who can read and can understand must read it. So there'll be no ambiguity as to what happened to our people. Briefly, then, the tribunal was set up by the Eastern Region government to ask those who survived the pogrom. Remember that those who died, nobody could give account of them. Those people who actually survived, who extricated themselves out of the north or northern Nigeria, were asked to come and give witness. It took 49 days. There were 253 witnesses. There was an exhibition of 498 exhibits. They went from town to town, from Enugu to Onitsha, to Aba, to Port Harcourt, to Calabar, to Uyo and Ogoja, gathering this information and therefore recording it, not just for you and I to read, but for history and also for posterity. So the issue at the moment in Nigeria is that those who perpetrated this crime don't even want to say they have done it, let alone apologize for it. There are still ongoing killing of our people. If we do not know where this thing started, how are we then going to defend ourselves? So there's a saying that if we don't know where the rain started beating us, we're not going to learn to defend ourselves from the rain. So this is the reason behind knowing the source of the history and the eyewitness account, which I'm going to share with you today. Because of the time constraint, I'm going to therefore limit it and structure it in such a way that hopefully most of you will understand it. There are under headings of motives. Why did this happen? The motives for massacre. The next one is the methodology. How did they go about? And of course, the crime itself, the madness, the murder. It's like a crime scene. What motives they have? How did they go about it? And the actual crime. So, motives, method, and the madness, I call it. The third bit is to look at, just pick, because of the time, we can't go through every single witness account. We pick maybe about 2 or 3 towns where this pogrom was visited and the people of Eastern Region. Remember at that time, they're not called Biafrans. They thought they were Nigerians. They're in the same country. But where they were is a different part of the same country, but were killed by their neighbors, their co-workers, and so on and so forth. So we're going to look at the towns like Katsina, Kanu, Kanji, and of course Kaduna. So I'm going to begin by saying to you the motives, quite briefly. Okay, so Mazi might be surprised to note that one of the witnesses, his name is Mazi, S-W-A-N Onoha. I'm not sure if they're related.
Maybe, who knows?
It's just,
that's a sweet coincidence.
Yes, so just in case it's related, you have a relative who went to the north in the 60s. It might be part of their witness. Okay, so what I'm going to read to you is what they thought was the motivating factor. What in the crime scene or in a criminal court? I'm sure I'm talking after my league here. You know more about it than I do. The judge will ask you, what are the motives? If you say he didn't, what are his motivations? What motivated him to do such a thing? So we can look at extenuating circumstances, for example. So the motivation, for example, so now what I'm going to tell you about. The motive for the pogrom is something which they have looked into. Okay, and they said that the question is the complete extermination of Easterners from the place in the north. In other words, how did they stop killing people in the north? Well, the answer to that is when there was no more Easterners to be killed. So they have succeeded. So that's one of the motives, to chase away and kill as many of Easterners as they possibly can in the north. Okay? Then, in connection, they had what they call the 7-point program or 7-point agenda of the organizers of the pogrom. Some people went down, they had several meetings, they organized this actual killing of the Easterners. It's exhibit SWAN, that's the initials of Mr. Onoha, SWAN, so it's exhibit SWAN 24, and it reads as follows. Number 1 motive, to kill off the Major General and the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. His name is Major General J.T.U. Agi Rensi. They succeeded. Secondly, to kill off all the Yamri army officers. They killed as many as they can. Over 200 of them were killed. The third one is to subsequently purge the army of Yamri by killing the rest of the ranks and file. what happened? They call a bugle. Everybody came out, and those who were evil were chased out from the line and killed. The officers murdered. Okay? So this all happened on 29th of July. Then the next reason or motivation was, with the aid of the Westerners, they said, in the army, to take complete control of the armed forces. They take over the complete control of the police force, the navy, and to purge off the Yamiris, as they call the Easterners, in all these forces. So they turned around the Nigerian military, which was multi-ethnic, multilingual, multi-religious, into a mono-ethnic. Well, a bloc from the north, which is supposed to control the army, police, navy, air force, everything. So that is all part of their motivation. So we are feeding in Nigeria today part of this plan, this one's exhibition, this Mr. Onwaha's exhibition of the plan for killing our people. Then the next one is to kill off and dispossess all the Anyamri domiciled in the northern region. They succeeded. Then the next one is to use the armed forces to take complete control of the country's government. And that's what they did under Yakubu Gowon. So they took over the complete control, the running machinery of the government, because they killed Agi Urensi, they killed his host, Faji, who's a Yoruba guy in Ibadan, looking up who is his host. They killed both of them, and then they turned onto the soldiers and killed them. And as a result, they made the place ungovernable, in the sense that they controlled the Lagos, they controlled the north, and they had difficulty taking over the east. So the coup of 29 of July 1966 was partially successful. They changed the government, all right, but they have not got complete control of the eastern region. So because Ojukwu was in the eastern region, because the coup did not affect that, it was a partial success. And that is why we had the war. Because Ojukwu said, no, you can't cross this line and kill my people and get away with it. So part of the motivation also was they want a revenge. Okay, you can argue that the Saduna Sokoto, who is, as I said last time, the spiritual leader and also the governor of the northern region then, should not have been killed. The hotheads, the young military, the majors and the captains, led by Nzogwu in the north, Ifajin in the west, they succeeded in killing their spiritual leader, Saduna Sokoto, Hamadu Bello. And then Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, who is the prime minister, was also killed. So now, part of the motive there for killing all the people living in the north who have Eastern origin was to get rid of these people, and because having killed their own, they want to revenge on Dr. Azikiwe, they want to kill Dr. Abara, they want to kill Ojukwu, they want to kill Major Nzogwu. The interesting thing, killing Ojukwu, although Ojukwu became the governor of the Eastern region, he was actually in the north, helped to stop the coup in the north. The Commonwealth countries met in Lagos, and all the politicians were returning from Lagos to Kanu. Ojukwu welcomed them. So if they think it was an Igbo coup, he would have locked them all up. But he was the one who protected and looked after them. So yet, in their agenda or motives, they want to kill Ojukwu and also Major Nzogwu. Major Nzogwu died during the war, but they gave him a military honor burial. They took his body from Enugu, where he died, around the Nsukka sector, and buried him in Kaduna, as I understand. Okay, so then the next thing is to destroy Port Harcourt, Enugu, University of Nigeria, and Nsukka, which they have succeeded partly, because in the University of Nsukka, even up till now, the chemical department has not been activated, because they're fear that they may produce more chemicals during the war. And then finally, to kill off all the Yamri top civil servants, and all the wealthy Yamri, male and female, all the Yamri educated giants. It's like if you don't have educated giants, you kill other people's educated giants. Anyway, all grown up males and females in Yamri, and then to leave only sucklings and Yamri in their land. And in their radio Kaduna broadcast throughout the war is, yes, let us go and kill all the Yamris, rape their women, take their property, and leave them the just baby suckling. So that was all the motivation. So if you're in the middle of the court and the judge asks, what was their motive? These are the 7-point agenda which they lined up and was made known to us by the witness. He's called his 8th witness, Mr. S-A-W-A-N Onoha. Okay, so that is a basis for which they operate on. Now, how did they go about the method? The method they went about was excessive madness in a way. They didn't just kill you. They made sure the way they went about it was so bad. And maybe some of us have to make sure you have strong stomach when we read most of the things they did to our people. Okay? How did they do it? First of all, there's a planned killing of our people. Like most genocide, they have those who sit down and plan it. So it was planned, mostly by their undergraduates at Ahmadu Bello University. They also had sometimes the help of the foreigner. British people, especially British lecturers, assisted them in planning this problem. They wanted revenge of the Sadwana. They wanted to make sure nobody on the east rose in the northern part to play any role whatsoever. So the killing was deliberate. It was directed. It was specific, targeting Easterners. Well, I keep calling them Easterners so that you know at that time they were from Eastern region of Nigeria. So they were targeting, directed to them, specific to them. If you find a Yoruba person, you left them out. If you find an Igbo person, you killed them. It was unrelenting. In other words, there were several waves of it. There was one in May. There was one in July. There was one in September. There was one in October. So it was waves after waves after waves. Was it spontaneous? Well, if you throw a pebble inside a pond, it will strain from the point where it landed and ripple outwards. Okay? But this one, it didn't start from one point and then ripple outwards. It was every city started at 7 o'clock on Saturday evening. It was planned. Okay, imagine a whole vast area of northern Nigeria, it's as big as Western Europe. Every single city, they all came out to start killing the Igbos 7 o'clock on a Saturday in one of the instances. So it was planned on that time at that hour. Then what else? It was coordinated. They even had bosses which the native authority had. It's like the people who run northern Nigeria, they're called the native authority. Part of them run the police and so on. So they took the buses from these people, went into the villages and got people to come out from the villages, to come into town to kill the Igbos, or to kill the Yamris, or to kill the Easterners. They also imported, in some instances, people who are believed not to be necessarily Nigerians, but people from Chad and so on, specifically come to join in killing. They use all sorts of weapons. There's an arrow, axes, clubs, stones. They use guns. They use any weapon they can get hold of. They burned people alive. They buried them in wells. They all did all sorts of things. So, and the most important thing that tell you that was not a spontaneous accident that happened, people were just rioting and killing anyhow. They were involved by they used the typed, let me repeat that, typed address of where the Easterners live. They had in their hand typed address of where these people live, so they would not miss their houses. Okay. When they went to Yoruba land, I mentioned before, they had to knock on your door and they mentioned Toro. And if you say Toro like an Igbo person compared to Yoruba person, they know you are foreign and they killed you. Okay. Don't forget the people's faces were also scarred. You can also identify who is Yamli or who is from Eastern region and who isn't by the scar on their faces and so on and so forth. So if you're Yoruba, you normally have your scar, your tribal marking, I call it. And also in the northern, they have their own tribal marking. So you can see somebody, majority but did not have this tribal marking, so you can also identify who they are. Okay, so that is some of the methods which they used. Okay, so it's in actually killing. That's one. The second one I want to point your attention to is that in addition to all this planning, okay, they also had what I call deception. They say to you, if a group of Easterners heard, oh, there's going to be a killing from Friday onwards, so they start packing their bags. So the next thing you come on the radio and say, oh no, you heard a rumor that there was going to be killing. Actually, there isn't. Don't worry about it. We will protect. No, we will protect you. Honestly, we will. Don't worry about it. It's all false. So they stayed behind. And of course, it was a false rumor. It was not a false rumor. It was a genuine rumor. But they allowed them to stay to be killed. Okay, so I don't know if I explained that properly. You hear that there's going to be killing. Instead of allowing them to act on that rumor, they decided that no. Let me reassure you that it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it on the radio. So So this guy stayed and they got killed. Then the next trick they used, which is another methodology, which is very, very clever. It's like they even go, there's one which acted well in Kanu, which we'll talk about Kanu shortly. They said we hear that people are trying to go back to the east by train on the 1st of October, and there'll be a train leaving Kanu. So please make sure you pack your bags, and that we encourage you to board the train and that. Of course, on that day, there'll be lots and lots of people from the eastern region who pack their belongings and everything and go to the station. And when they get there, there'll be no train. And then instead, the military will arrive with a gang of people, and they got clobbered to death and killed. So there's so many tricks they use to lure our people into positions of helplessness. And the other thing they did was to cause them to be disarmed. Now, normally you have your double-barrel gun, you have a knife, you have something to even defend yourself. They went around making sure all these people they're going to kill were disarmed beforehand. So they were defenseless. And then the military went around with the crowd and killed as many of them as possible. So that is part of the revolting aspect of how they went about killing our people. And it's really is something worth bearing in mind. There's so many other ways of describing what they did to us. For example, let me just find you what happened. So on one of the days, instance, many people were killed, and the NA, which is the Northern Authority policemen, used their big lorries to carry the corpses to the grave. Okay, they hide the body. The dead body were buried in groups of 20, in groups of 50, in groups of 60. Okay, and then large graves were dug by the caterpillars that belonged to these Northern Authority people. The burial was conducted by the armed soldiers. The soldiers were standing by with their arms. So they said it was because this guy who was able to see all this was wearing the Hausa dress, okay, one of the witnesses, and he spoke fluent Hausa. So they would not tell that it's an evil person watching them. So another bad thing was a Benin lady who was killed, and many sharp pieces of broken bottles packed into her private part. And they left her naked inside the hotel. Okay. Another one is Pauline, Mrs. Pauline, who was killed in the same day, Enugu Road, and International Hotel. And the Bibio man who was burnt alive inside his car at the airport road. He was a meteorological officer. Then they saw a house man who conducted sexual intercourse on a young girl, on an Igbo girl, and this girl vomited until she died. It was gang rape. There's so many things they did to us. So the attacks on schools and churches provided yet another instances of callosities and, of course, of the assailants. So they desecrated the church. The people professing to know and worship God, the very difficult way of explaining it, doing God honor. That's the attack on armed civilians by the army, by police, and supposed to give them protection. That's the worst thing. The police and the army, you're supposed to run to them for protection, but in fact, it was the same people who joined in and was behind and watched you be killed. So that's part and parcel why they can never be trusted. So I'll talk to you briefly about the motives of the massacre, the method where they went about it. They're Aussie, of course. They put a rod behind your back, they tie your hand behind a long rod, and there they gouged out your eye, took out your private parts, and all sorts of things. There are so many methods. I don't want to make it even worse, but I just want to now concentrate on the madness. I'm going to use Katina. I know time is spent, or time is pressing, so let me know how I'm doing with time. We need to tell this story properly.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. I think we have about half an hour. Yes, more or less.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not going to describe what happened in individual towns. I'm going to take Katsina, which is the hometown of Buhari, of course. Katsina in 1966, May. So the Katsina, of course, is the capital of the Katsina Emirate. The Emir of Katsina is the father of the military governor of the northern Nigeria at that time, called Lieutenant Colonel Hassan Katsina. There are 4 principal witnesses that gave evidence of the disturbances made riot in Katsina. Okay, so we're going to now hear from those who were in Katsina in May when the riot started. Their names are Enoch Ejike, Enoch Ejike. He is the 26th witness. Then there's a Vincent Modebel, and he's the 27th witness. Then there's a James Aka, who is 138th witness, and Mrs. Cecilia Mabel Anebuna. So there are names which are entered into this tribunal, which can be cross-referenced and checked out. The 26th witness, Enoch Ejike, right? He lived in Castina, he said, for 15 years, from 1951 to June 1966, when he was compelled by the disturbances to flee the north. He owned a story building near the Emir's palace. This is what he has to say. I am a native of Ojoto. Katsina is perhaps the area worst affected by the disturbances, even though there was a deliberate attempt to play down the seriousness of the situation there, both during and after the disturbances. I am willing to appear before the tribunal to give evidence about what I saw during the disturbances. So what I'm saying to you is that there are people who survived it, who are willing to testify under oath and cross-examine as to what they saw. So the event we're reading that has been stored for posterity is genuine and can be taken as a factual evidence. Now, it was around, this is his account, he said around 2 a.m., listen to this, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., this early hours, but it's a ungodly hours, I call it. In the early morning of 29th of May 1966, a large number of houses started collecting in the Emir's palace. Remember, these people lived in the Sabongari, outside the palace, outside the walled city. So those who are allowed to enter the Emir's palace have to be vetted. They're all houses. Okay, they went in. Now, round about 6 a.m. in the morning, they then burst out from the palace, carrying sticks, machetes, daggers, axes, etc., and all other dangerous weapons. They spread themselves all over the town. They were looting, burning houses and shops. Some of the NA, Northern Authority Police, took active part. Let me repeat that. Some of the NA police took active part, while others made no attempt to bring the situation under control. So you're supposed to be law and order. Instead of stopping the mob, going around looting, killing, you actually take part and joining them and did nothing. So the attack was directed against people of southern Nigerian origin, with the exclusion of Yorubas. So Yorubas also from the south, but they were not touched. Only the Igbos were targeted, or people of eastern origin. Then one Mr. Joseph of Uji, okay, was stabbed to death that very morning. While the attack continued, the Emir of Katsina, if you are the Emir, you are the boss of the whole area. Whatever people say you do, they do. Whatever you say, rather, they will do. They're under your control. So the Emir of Katsina, Alhaji Usman Nagogo, the former northern minister, okay? So then there's a number. So Alhaji, let me repeat his name again. The Emir of Katsina was Alhaji Usman Nagogo. And then there's a former northern minister who was an MP, Alhaji Issa Kaita. Then there's an Alhaji Musa Tafida Yaradua. Then there's a former Ministry of Lagos Affairs and Magaji Gari, the Emir's son, were parading the town up and down, cheering the looters on. So these are the responsible members of that very town. Instead of them bringing law and order, they're actually encouraging the mob to go on the rampage. My two big shops, this is the witness, my two big shops, this is AGK, my two big shops and stores were all looted, as well as my residence. Not a pin was left for me. They even swept the rooms. They swept the shop. They swept the stores with brooms. Can you imagine? The telephone number 152 Katsina is one of the shops was removed, so he can't phone. So they moved in gangs, and each numbered about 300 to 400 people. Towards evening, every southerner resident in Katsina, repeat that, towards evening, every southerner resident in Katsina had been rendered homeless, hopeless, and penniless. We were therefore evacuated by Northern Authority Police to a place 2 miles from the town. So they rounded them up, took them to a place 2 miles away from the town. We numbered over 2,000, including women and children. We were not allowed to move out from the compound, which had but one gate. We suffered from both hunger and fear. On Monday, 30th May 1966, the military governor of the northern group of provinces summoned the meeting of emirs and chiefs to state their grievances, because there's rioting now. So the military governor, Katsina, asked the emirs and all the chiefs to come for a meeting. So on the 31st of May 1966, the emir of Katsina left for Kaduna. That's where the meeting is being held. Kaduna is the capital then of the northern region. So they went to Kaduna to attend the meeting. And it was alleged that the emir, on leaving for Kaduna, ordered his men not to tamper with our lives yet, pending his return and the result of their meeting. So it's give strict order. This will be rounded up. 2,000 or so people will be rounded up. Don't touch them until I return. On Wednesday, 1st of June, 1966, the Nigerian army arrived at the scene, and we were released forthwith. The Nigerian army then entered and released them. So on the following Thursday and Friday, 2nd and 3rd, respectively, some of us fled to Kanu. They escaped. Now, on that very Friday, 3/6/66 afternoon, the emir returned from Kaduna. And on Saturday, 4/6/66, no southerner was allowed to leave the town. He put another order and don't allow them to escape. Those who managed to escape were pursued, and many of them slaughtered in the way. Now, the violence was therefore renewed, and the worst inhuman acts were performed on the Saturday, 4/6/66. Now, the emir again took the lead, together with his team, comprising Alhaji Issa Kaita, former minister, Northern Nigeria Education Minister. Then they have Alhaji Musa Tafida Yarudua, who was former Federal Minister in Lagos Affairs. Then Magajin Gary, who is Lieutenant Colonel Katsina's twin brother, who is the emir's son. All these people joined in chasing and killing. Then the climax was reached when Southerners, seeing what has happened, ran and took refuge. Those who were behind, they ran into the police charge office. They ran into the police station. These people were locked inside the office, which were then packed full with refugees. They were set on fire. They ran to police and they were burnt inside the police. Okay? Burnt to ashes together with all the refugees therein. This Saturday episode affected many government employees who could not leave the town without the consent of the employer, as well as the independent business people who were tied down by their business links or the otherwise. None was left alive, except a few of us whom God hid away out of their sight, who live now to tell the story. Another devilish plan worthy of note was that as soon as the Saturday massacre started, the Katsina Provincial Secretary, instead of telephoning to Kanu to bring the armies close to rid of this scar, instead of telephoning Kanu to bring the armies, he chose to ride on his car to Kanu, a distance of 108 miles away, in order to bring the army to himself. So now, why is he doing that? He can just pick up a phone and call them, and they come. But he chose to drive 108 miles. So the trick lies in that fact, that before he could return to Katsina from Kanu with the armed forces, the operation had been completed, and many lives were lost. So all this tomfooleries. Now, the fact that a large and unknown number of people were burnt alive in police charge office made it highly impossible for anyone to give an accurate figure of the deaths. Also, many were killed and hidden away, and many thrown into wells and pits. So then, the gruesome incidents of the burning of Nigerian building at Katsina was confirmed by Miss Mabel Anabunwa, who's the 235 witness, whose husband, Mr. D.G. Anabuna, was one of the victims. She watched him die. Her evidence described as follows. This is Ms. Alamda. My name is Cecilia Mabel Anabuna. I joined my husband Katina on the 4th of August 1962 and returned to the East on the 18th of June 1966. After my husband was murdered on 4/6/66, I have 2 children. My husband had 3 children from the first wife who died earlier. I am now caring for those 3 children and my own 2. My husband was a first class clerk in the Ministry of Agriculture, Katsina, and also a special constable. On the 4th of June 1966, he returned suddenly to inform me that the incident of looting, which occurred on the 29th of May, was being repeated. I immediately backed my baby, and together we escaped to the nearest police station. While we were pursuing by the armed villains, we ran into the police station. We were admitted inside by the police station. Thereupon, the mob attacked the shuttle with knives and axes. The police warned them not to attack the station, but Malam Magadi Gary, who was Lieutenant Colonel Hassan Katsina's twin brother, retorted, warning the police not to disturb the civilians who were carrying out the order of the emir. So basically, the police were warning the rioters. This police officer, who is the brother of the governor of the northern Nigeria and the son of the emir, was telling the police people, don't disturb the civilians who are rioting because they're carrying out the order of the emir. So the emir, the person in charge of the Katsina, was actually heading the riot. So the rioters were thenceforth unfettered. That no one can disturb them because they've been told that the emir is in charge. So they broke inside through the doors and windows and, of course, started to kill people indiscriminately. And one of the victims was my husband, Mr. D.G. Onlewu. So now, many other women and I went to appeal to Magagi Garrett, Hassan's twin brother, but he said they could not disobey the emir. About 18 men were victims. Their corpses were burned, followed by burning of the police station and the government staff quarters. In the evening, the women were conveyed in police truck to the Northern Authority police station, where we stayed for some days. Later, we were taken to an unfinished hotel building, where the Red Cross supplied us food and some baby clothing. I left Katsina to Kanu on the 9th of June 1966 to meet my husband's brother. On the 14th of June, I left for the East. One Reverend Father X was very kind to victims. He helped many wounded people to the hospital until he was seriously warned by one Mr. McNamara, who's a British, that if he continued, he, Father X, would be attacked for transparently taking sides with Easterners. It was in this Mr. McNamara's house that several night meetings were held. Mr. McNamara was soul and body in the planning of the pogrom. So I'm just going to leave it there. What happened then? This lady was cross-examined. It's not enough to just tell us this is what you saw. So they said the witness was then questioned closely, and one of the questions, this is what she has to say. You actually saw Magari Gari with your own eye in the police station? And that was the question. They say, yes, I saw him. My husband was working with him. This Magari was NA, Native Authority police officer. So my husband was working with him. He used to come to our house frequently in connection with his work, so that when this thing happened, I went with other women, appealed to the man and begged him to stop the rioting. He said that he would not do so, and that I was in order, it was an order from the Emir, and Emir is his father. So from Katsina, the disturbance spread to other towns in Katsina Emirate, like Fontua, Malumfashi, Siga, etc. So in these towns, the story of the direct involvement of the Emir in the disturbances is told again and again by other witnesses. The death toll in Katsina Emirate will be seen later on. So what I've just described to you is one of the caves, one of the towns, and what happened. Where you have people supposed to run into police for protection, they got burnt inside there. Where sometimes the police actually join in rioting, looting, and killing, sweeping not just your stores of every single thing, including the paint. They brush, they sweep it so you have nothing left, plus they will destroy you economically. If you're lucky, you get out alive, and then nothing to go on. So that is one of the madness that I described in just one town. Wait till you hear about Kanu. Wait till you hear about Kaduna. Okay, so I just finished talking about Katsina. I'm happy to continue. Okay, so I talked about Katsina. I'm going to talk about quickly about Kaduna. Okay, Kaduna. And that may help us to wrap up for today. We're talking about Katsina. We're now going to talk about what happened in Kaduna. Kaduna, as you know, was the capital of the northern region at the time. Okay? So it's pertinent to understand that this just didn't happen in Katsina. It also happened in major cities in the north. Okay, so I'm going to now talk about Kaduna. Right. Kaduna has no emir, okay, at this stage, because it's the seat of the government in the northern Nigeria. It has no emir or district head. It is the capital of northern Nigeria and the seat of northern Nigeria regional government. The military governor lives there. That's the mentioned name, his name earlier, Lieutenant Colonel Hassan Katsina. Okay. The heads of all the departments of the government have their offices in Kaduna. The police headquarters is in Kaduna. One would have thought that all places, Kaduna would be the last place one would expect to see innocent civilians exposed to mob attack. So in other words, it's like the capital is like London. Okay, you'll expect the police to be well equipped to prevent riots and killing of innocent people. So Kaduna was the capital in the north. Now the evidence showed that Kaduna was just as affected as any other important towns in the Hausa-speaking areas. Now, in fact, it was the top civil servant that led the attack. So here's what witness 52 have to say. His name is Daniel Godreau Pinswa. After the Daniel coup, the head of my department, Mr. N.B. Kirby, Territorial Control of North, called me up to take care of the personnel in the exchange and some other P&T installations in Kaduna. A few hours later, out of sheer curiosity, I went to the Sadrana's house in Kaduna to check up on the news we have heard. I found water and blood dripping from the upstairs, and quite a number of northerners were in the premises as well as within the building. I was amazed to find that all the northerners were showing no signs of grief. In fact, some of them were in Sadrana's sitting room at that time, were having fun by parodying the official procedure, the protocol and pomp they had observed during the Sadrana's lifetime. For example, someone would pose as the Sadrana secretary, would say, rank again, and genuflect, then there would be riotous laughter. Others mimic the way they laugh, and so on and so forth. So some Hausa friends told me that the coup was a godsend, but that it was only fault was that nobody was killed in the east. Okay? So this is the impression the houses had when the Sardauna of Sokoto was killed. There was widespread celebration in the whole Nigeria until they turned it into an Igbo coup and started killing all the Igbos. So then came Decree 34. Decree 34 was trying to unify Nigeria into one country in the sense that the North and East and West have always been separate. They governed. They had their own government. They had their own embassies, even in London and Washington. Every region had their own embassies. So the army came and wanted to unify everything. So, for the unification of the public services, after its publication, Northern civil servants felt very insecure. They had issues with, there are more people in the South who are more trained, more educated than we are, and so on. So if you unified the civil servants, we're going to be edged out of our jobs. So they felt insecure and openly complained about it. So it was understood that permanent secretaries and other top government officials of Northern origin, they masterminded this demonstration. Then on the 29th of May, which is a Sunday, it's called Black Sunday, we heard rumors of violence in the town. We were already in the church at the Faith Tabernacle Kaduna for evening service when we noticed that the whole environment of the church and the street outside was filled with houses. At the end of the service, we could not go out. So now, witness Julius Abisi. I was transferred from Lagos to Kaduna, and I arrived Kaduna February 1st, 58, when that day I had been living Kaduna until I returned by air on the 5th of October because of the unfortunate incident in the north. After January coup and relations existed between Easterners and Northerners took a different shape till May, when everything deteriorated. So now he's saying, May 28, Northerners asked for permission for the police to demonstrate against the military regime. They wanted this demonstration to take effect on the 20th of May, but having been refused the permission, they staged the demonstration with violence on the 29th. They used this demonstration as an instrument to kill, loot, destroy the property of Easterners residing in the Kaduna. They continued this operation extermination for full 3 days before the army intervened. Now then, on the 29th of May, the same thing happened. A group of Hausa top civil servants held a meeting at Ahmad Bello Stadium. This meeting started at 1 p.m. on Saturday and lasted till 4 p.m. It was from that meeting they spread to the town, attacking every Easterner they met. Looting, arson, and killing of the law-abiding Easterners featured predominantly. After the attack, they started going from house to house, hunting for Easterners to kill. As I understand, and speaking Hausa fluently, I had the opportunity to mix freely with every Northerner. What they were saying was nothing like peace will remain in the map of Nigeria. Now, from this time onwards, peace and tranquility eluded Kaduna. Easterners started running from one corner of the bush to the other, search for safety. The situation remained like this until the 29th of September. Now, on the 29th of September, I witnessed the heaviest killings. The corpses were being transported from town to the hospital. The extent of the killings was so great that the ambulance could not cope with the evacuation of corpses, so that they had to employ PWD and P&T tippers to help in clearing the corpses. The most sorrowful sight I've ever seen was that young men were sitting on top of the corpses, dancing and singing merrily as they drove around the town. Earlier, on the 24th of September, my chief warden, Mr. Robinson Okoye, was killed in his room. And this was done not by the army, nor by the police, but the Hausa warden under him. These Hausa members of our staff organized themselves to attack we fellow Eastern wardens. They said, we must have all of you wiped out. They even said this in public. Personally, these were vandals chased me in broad daylight. I only managed to escape because I was riding while they were attacking. After riding up the 1.5 miles from them, I dodged and entered the bush. The molestation directed to us by House members of staff had the support of the senior men, because each time we went to them to lodge a complaint, they will merely say, go away. Our only savior was the instruction from Lagos that all of us should come en masse transfer to the east. We eventually arrived in Easter Air on the 5th of October without any of the belongings. So I'm going to pause there, because what I just tried to read are areas so far as Katsina and Kaduna where you'll expect to be some protection with reasonable human beings. The emir should keep order, but he was chasing around and making sure people were being killed. And in one of the instances, he was driving around in his car and hooting his car horn and saying, leave the properties, kill them. After killing them, then the properties will be yours. So people were looting and killing at the same time. So he advised them to just kill the people first, and then they'll collect all their properties. So he's supposed to be in a prison of authority to advise people to bring peace and order, but he didn't. The police joined in. They were burnt in the police. There's so many things that happened to our people. And the plan was to empty the north from easterners. And about, as I said before, 1.8 to 2 million people returned to the eastern region as a result of this security in the rest of Nigeria. And as a result of that insecurity, the Biafrans decided to form their own country as a way of guaranteeing their safety.
(1967) was the year. A year not to be forgotten in the history of mankind. A year of massacre, mass murder, genocide against the defenseless people of Biafra, men, women, and children, while the whole world watched and get entertained with the precious blood of Biafra spilled. The world watched and did nothing. But there was a voice in the wilderness, the voice of Okokondem screaming, Omo Biafra, muru n'anya, onye ndiro gbara gburugburu na-eche ndụ ya nche. The voice of Radio Biafra, the voice of the voiceless, the voice of freedom. 55 years later, Radio Biafra is still defending humanity, bringing you news, information, analysis, revealing and exposing the kingdom of darkness called the Zoo Nigeria, saturating humanity with melody, music. Radio Biafra. We will never stop until Biafra is restored and beyond Biafra restoration. Do you know why? Radio Biafra, the first, and we are the last.
Samba.
Now, why somebody did know na Finland na-enye order saying government in exile, then why you declare your armed struggle? What's actually not self-determination? Now, if you declare armed struggle, get any business in with a sit at home. You may sit at home with civil disobedience. Now, each is able to for civility. How have you ever seen civil servants make protest today? Army cannot protest without a gun because they are armed. Now, army are for civil disobedience. This is struggle on him. They declare armed struggle have no right to call for civil disobedience. And civil disobedience are not enforced. If you enforce it, it is uncivil. Civility cannot be enforced. Civility is by decision. Now, if you enforce it, you are discrediting IPOB in all their sit at home because all voluntarily. Now, you want to show the world none of them enforce. Discreditation. Now, government is an agenda. Now, ask yourself. Kedu tundi na ekwegi na court ruling, ekwegi na court proceeding, ekwegi na civil disobedience. Sorry, ekwegi na political solution. Okay, my court of political solution. Referendum political solution. Free Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally political solution. Right? Now, how come you declare armed struggle, declare no checking point, declare government in exile? Can you declare armed struggle without presenting two army in uniform? But the director said not full and in a bush or present the ESN. How do somebody in Finland declare government in exile, declare armed struggle without presenting two army or one? That is to say, Attorika government because he present the army, government will ask you. On the director present the ESN government because all they play the show. Now, the case of Free Nnamdi Kanu, ain't anything but violence because court a discharge again. The government, the word on the neck of Nigerian government. Why have you not Free Nnamdi Kanu? Because I inhibit in a court, they send them boa, they court to Nigeria. Now, I'm not saying free here. How any reason now? Wagging and dinner so a boom mad in southeast. Ima onana watahane Ubu now government abia project ya through Nigerian army Omar Musa a 2 division commander wetrofu 5 days ageje ebu bata Fulani imo na watahane Fulani will come in because when we are alert I no name on araha ebu bata Fulani ha na video ya na get raise alarm now 5 days Simon Epa non agenda, Ohanese non agenda, governor non agenda, can governor choro. Has he criminalize IPOB can have holy again. Now go IPOB buga all the contract and Simon. Make sure we become holy again. IPOB wasn't that hate, can has evil. Right? Or the agenda. That is why IPOB needs it at home. Order. Ega hold the governors hand in account there. Ega hold commissioner of police hand in order. Na say better could be all their plan. You go to see them one order. I want to all their plan. No warning. All do tonight with him. Haneze be yesterday. Ma but has on Haneze kuoku. Ikuoku si devu ma ya me instruct. Ya me advice. Haneze na bo devu ma. They are supposed to write to the Finnish government. Say no way na ba nenya libo so. Why do they tell them? Because all their own business. Now, how can somebody not declare government in exile? Governors have a meeting. But IPOB in order sit at home have a meeting because Ham and all their plan. How do somebody declare armed struggle? Why no way governor okuro? Onwe politician okuro? Onwe foreign affairs, Nigerian foreign affairs Minister of Information Lai Mohammed, Army Chief Defense Minister Madu Jaha Biafra declare government in exile. Biafra. That is the age don't na IPOB. But when the government to why but age don't IPOB because IPOB can hand on a cases able to Kanu. Ndị a na-ekwu okwu aha ha reflect na case. So government ikpọ ha ọ gaghị enwe meaning. Ndị nọ na charge say director IPOB and ndị nọ lead IPOB. So ndị need to tarnish IPOB and IPOB need to secure the name because I am How can you endure massacre, national high school killing, 9th of February 2016 Igaogo. Mpo massacre 29/30 May 2016 Igaogo. Igbocha massacre IPOB in solidarity with Donald Trump 20 January 2017 Igaogo. Emene massacre, and the first killing of IPOB happened in Onitsha 30th of August 2015 by Willie Obiano. 2 people died, 29 injured. We didn't go to war, right? Now Emene massacre 23rd of August 2020 we didn't go to war. Obiubo massacre from October 18 down 2020 Igaogo. We launched ESN, send the Hanohia. Government about Simon Yaguagina, Unyu ESN. Ndị mmadụ na-emebere ya n'Imo abịa na ego I signal our men no ụmụọma to turn our people against IPOB ka our people si na ihe awụrụ Biafra na ha achọghị ya but ọ na-adị unu ugbu a mgbe ị gbara ọsọ ka ọ ga-edo gị anya ka ị ga-amacha onye ahụ ị na-eti anya ị ga-emecha achọwa ị ga-ahụ ya gọọmenti will save but lekwa onye nke chọrọ isave gị ebe o wuru onwe ya dewe. Now ask yourself, how do somebody that want Nnamdi Kanu to be out na ọ dị enye gị date but Biafra ga-abịa ọ director ga-enye gị date? Wait, you love Kanu. Isizi agawa anyị na-agazi na anụma bi weta Biafra ke Biafra nke Kanu na bi weta. The man lost group family. He ga mawu ka ya nwapụta ka ihe na-enyere date na account of people only to draw hope ka divert their people because the agenda of the government is Nana Kanu power. How do you take power? Anaria power anyị mecha anyị release ọ ga-enwezi power. Divide ndị na-eso ozi ya ka na-enwe akpa obi ihe o nwewo structure akpa obi onweghị structure ahụ wo strength ya ọ ma na-enye order na ọ ga-adị. Now somebody abịa sị gị ga-egela anybody in DSS ntị ka inwe ike gewe ya nwantị. Somebody agwa gị na ya nwa spokesperson Biafra why na-enwetebe Biafra why na-emapụ afọ publicity secretary IPOB. Ịbịa na Biafra enwe market leaders ha nwekwe their spokesperson, enwe politicians ha nwe their spokesperson, enwe religious leaders ha nwe their spokesperson. How come iji wụzie spokesperson ndị Biafra gị nwa mekwuru nwe gị appoint enwego Biafra government iji enye appointment in the name of Biafra, then you are mocking the Biafra because ị na-agwa ndị ọcha na Biafra ị na-enwetebe na inwe ego appointment. You are trying to ridicule us. Did you understand? Why na ịma na-abịa na Biafra agitation na enwe MASOB, enwe BIM, enwe BZDM, enwere EPC, Eastern People's Congress, enwe BNL, enwere BNG. Ndị a niile na-adọ Biafra. Biafra bụ ime akaụntụ ihe dọtara. Right? How? Ọwụ na ha chọrọ ịdọ nwere onwe na ha wee fit na ha na-adọ nwere onwe. Why iji eme Kanu attach? I was a Masobian. Kanu was onye Masob. Mgbe e kreatiri IPOB e wetara ha MASOB there. Why somebody iji chọọ ịtanish aha anyị ha sị na ha was autopilot? Do you know the meaning of autopilot? Plane without pilot. That is to say automatically you become a fool. You don't have leadership, you don't have channel. Ihe a chọrọ mgbe ahụ ka anyị join ya atụweni ha director atala onwezi ndị ọ na-edu. Did you understand? So that is the issue. How do you come in the month of December? Director anọla dị ezi ozi, oziela Ozokombo ozi, oziela barrister Nnamdi ozi, zoo barrister ozi. Gwa gị na ndị na-eme ihe na gọọmenti zụrụ ha azụ. Ma ya nwe merigo case ya. O merigo na UN. Ojukwu lọgụ 3 years UN etighị ọnụ. But such an IPOB hold international law for 1 year upon intimidation not here. UN etighị ọnụ. But Ojukwu chọrọ ka eti ọnụ etighị ọnụ. But director maintain ya ha tiri ọnụ. Aga na court Nigeria na Ụmụahịa, State High Court Ụmụahịa, 19th of January 2022. Court rule that na Nnamdi Kanu agbaghị ọsọ na jump bell. No mere assassination attempt. O mere escape as military assassination attempt. Or he mere escape. And the government ga-compensate. Enyecha the ruling. Nigeria emego ebe. Anya ga-appeal court. Begbuo ha discharge aka anụ si na onwe onye kwesịrị ikpe ya ikpe na court ọbụla. And onwe court ga-ekpe direct ikpe again. Ebe a onwezi ndị ga-ekpe ya ikpe. Then Nigeria disobey ye. Anya gakwa Federal High Court Ụmụahịa. Court discharge asị gị return no back to Kenya. Now onye gwara gị that na ya mere enforce sit at home Monday for 1 year. Out of this result now, gbam the reflection. We reflect na friend Nnamdi Kanu. Now, he made an account ndị ka igburu egbu Monday for 1 year. If free begin the Kegari men force it at home Nanka, hundreds of them. IPOB free Hayas again, but let them send you a lawyer. Okay, Nananga, but IPOB no longer we send lawyer. Then when you gaga member than force in Nananga, or just say or send the picture again and net, can go to the edge gauge, or Jokane Segi, or Jogi Yabika say give me also email account to email 1 year. Because the whole result to free Nnamdi Kanu from court, from the same IPOB leadership, according to the direction from Nnamdi Kanu, only a criminal gang on a detention. Criminal gang here actually has adopted without him make omara. Only not freedom. He can make omara. You go with the freedom much. You can't take Kanu nega choto shapta no way power. He choto shapta. Ogaroshi. So he defeat to do anyhow with his name. Now you want to on a guy says you want to ridicule it. But Sam, before him he had what director. You only have instruction. You was saying you want to do leadership of IPOB with a hero director on a table. He sent the director. All like you wait 2 weeks before you reply them. Because all you had in charge. More reply, but they can't give order. So, somebody not that is to say they want to take power from him, right? Yeah, with the foundation now. Self-determination can you go do already. It's already self-defense.
And self-defense.
Self-defense. The director Sege, ESN will do this for us. Now, how do we do it? Before we do it, we need to create the scenario of Yemen, the scenario of Somalia, the scenario of Syria, in the northern part of the damnable Republic of the Zoo, not in Biafra land, sorry. Ebage create that noise. Also, no, northern part. Not here. Did you understand? Now, again. They want to force us into premature war, but we are more intelligent than them. What we have to do is we have to be patient and follow instruction. That's how they forced our fathers into war after Aburi Accord agreement. Okay, when I forced Rujuk into war. Now, self-defense has been a natural law. No matter where you defend yourself. But you cannot instigate a trouble against your whole family. If you want to defend yourself, you gotta defend your own. Each is Zosh, her family against Zosh. Did you understand? Now, self-defense, why you launch the ESN? According to international law, it's an ESN township. ESN roll here, Naya Dageu. Do you know why? I get you make ESN no help. I buy a book. Director send the no help. But how about Simon? I go on ESN on a communities. Why not coordinate with channel to ESN? Don't worry, I can equal self-defense. I'm separate. Self-determination. Decide that he got warrior referendum. Or your self-determination. Self-defense. Mado Biari Bugi get defend your own way. Now, Nigerian army. Now sponsor Fulani to kill us. I have launched ESN to defend our boundaries. Here the ESN will restoring Biafra 2020. Here no since we defense, but we are defending it international. Because since Ekereba ain't security in Kanu, no one involved in our politics. Only ESN, and they send the how na boundaries. Boundary what that all here. Right? When I want to hear director, Abraham or Banter. Now, this township can Nigeria actually move at Ogwanya, Johaga, one here. And how Japanega no here because Hamana or gauge IPOB, or less Maloreba before Jidan. That's why the director let's send the army. So, self-defense and self-determination are the issue. And the self-defense I may apply. Now, is it when you come to your community, army available your community, or when you get the army? Which means army sent you. Because he cannot stand the army. And there's a saying now our man. That is confusion. How can in a burial somebody be an agego? Just saying now why not ESN manata? They might have big. Simon help our ESN or IPOB or whoop the IPOB. Director say gee ya ntị sị gị gee ma ya egwu ntị ma egwu onye Yoruba. Listen to Omote Biafra, listen to Ikenga Uruagu, listen to Ikem Patrick. How do about 20 directors agent or say take instruction from them? Now, director suspend them at Radio Biafra. Memo, I will director get memo. Onye get memo DOS. And onye can sign here with HOD upon not director on your order. Now let us go to 0-5 POB. Again at the beginning of oath, that I, Mazi Madabchinwachuku, solemnly and voluntarily swear to be absolutely loyal to the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu there first. Mboya there, but only before you oppose or with US. Now the oath you take, you go to radio. Abiatie, come Abia Segi, and Nnamdi Kanu, director of Radio Biafra. Now, the actual mad onega sign here DOS. You like the key. Tuto again, young general commander, the top man he gauge there at any time. Then the government will be there. Or Hebrew Sarewa, or Hebrew Abiola, and when structure. When they catch you, your friends will run away. Because of politics. When you run away, they will kill you. But this one is not friends. This is a structure. Now government want to destroy it completely. Then in anything a project directors now infiltrator and moles. Government project for years. After how many cause of failure, 4 more tripod, 4 more iPod, 4 more radio international. Yeah, failure. Cuba now. How with go making sure that people buy an IPOB no go do already. How many years I plan to kidnap director? Uzbek kidnap their hand strike here with allegation. Can do the allegation? He hated the leadership, then director knows alone. He hated higher happy and alone. And when he got off time, who join Nigeria with the structure, not individual. The structure, no one who lay get him, no one get him. And the case in Nigeria now, on a wine the Grambo, how is here Nigeria? Nigeria report line is here and he country by country. When we get a man so a lay was it your age?
Another thing to age based on
can me address our people man no life. They will no more Chineke. Thank you. I remain the fearless IPOB evangelist Mazi Madabchinwachuku. I am broadcasting from Biafra land, right here from our homeland Radio Biafra. Here in Biafra land, I guess today is the 8th day of December 2022. Thank you. I am here with our people somewhere in Biafra land, unmentioned, as we continue to enlighten our people, to inform them of the things in our hand on how to restore Biafra that will be honorable before the eyes of God, not in a criminal manner. Thank you for joining us as we are interacting with our people here. Right? We don't get their faces. Thank you. Go ahead.
From the viewer and from the questions now gather from people to know.
Okay.
Okay. I see now Mazi, Simon, Nomer hijack, the fund, erase by Omadike. So when I juicy go to Mazi Simon, she hijacked the fund of IPOB from our finance head. To counter the young man. But there is no how Mazi Simon Akaji didn't fund that. Thank you.
Fund IPOB teacher. Okay. Then raise the fund. Now IPOB. You tell me now. No, but I am going to go ahead. I have business to get ego. Hello, Tigard. I joined them at Sina Negia. One is a mother before give raise a fund, meet you on no yaga sign there. So that I got there accountable to. Some people need anyhow Biafra. We never need anyhow Biafra. Anyhow Biafra is like Nigeria. Are you aware? Biafra has rough my direct on it with one high chop. And I met Ibo. Government cannot send you to turn our people against us. Before IPOB and other sit at home, Hana consult national coordinator. Yeah, aware. How matter condition of our people? Okay, it's not at any other. And you touch I reply our leadership. Hasemba. Na haga happy. Na haga use another method. Okay, because Nankage make it in the Now, Joe Wiggy came and onye ya na director na-arụkọ ọrụ. Nnamdi Kanu lelechara annual event, ma ihe wa annual event otu a 25 December anọ eruo 25 echenji to 26 ịhụrụ gị ebe o mere. But Nnamdi Kanu mere last year because no studied Biafra 20 years. Ma ihe o mere 30 May my Sunday Tarata no Friday signs or high gary n'abalị Saturday na ọkụ ha 6 Saturday na ọkụ sigo no more going out. Ya mecha laghachi back n'abalị Saturday bịa mee broker sị mba okay laghachi na Friday yes Saturday morning ka ọ laghachiziri mezie broker sị na ya ga-emezi ya Sunday na ga-shift ya Monday. Reason that our people are too religious so that people should go to church. Ha ruo ha kpeziri our fallen heroes ekpere Monday anyị anọwazi at home. Why ndị a ji n'eze sit at home Sunday gwa gị na offering Nnamdi Kanu but ha ji egbe. Onye ji egbe ọ ga-call for sit at home. You will go to Abuja DSS rescue our leader, not putting our people on fire. IPOB choose court, they go to Abuja court. You want to choose Regbe, go to DSS. That is how it is done. You don't threaten our people. This is Igbo people actually as a slave. How to go on a million war. The same people actually frustrated. People we without referendum has to go to hell with your referendum. There's something you do to an Igbo man, they will reject you. Imagine that now. And they frustrate our people. And a job behind about time.
For long, I lack information. For long, then is it's not working. It's not working.
On our road, that's it's not working. You guys see now. I'm live. Don't worry, our people, man. Don't worry. Now, here could radio Biafra. Oh, he get cool that comes. I give you love FM. Give me a check with Magic FM. They can each check with you another one. Let us address Radio Biafra. They on 247. Come on now. I know log we believe. Him na the radio wa strength. Osbeji the director. Ajam radio Abia. Gaba right. Abia mezie ya. Ona covers everywhere. Ona ekucha. Ona eku na aba. But ona cover everywhere. Radio Biafra the kwano on. Edan all need you different. Edan no do IPOB community radio the on. Ugba ị ga na ege ugba program the on. Onwegi mba ị ga-ezu oke. Oya mara aja don nwere onwe. Nobody should expect completeness. Owa na alụ ebe Nigeria onwe ezu oke. Okay, but owo onwe ebe anyị nwere oil. Ihe awu anyị nwa the resources. Right? Anyị na-elikwa ozu ndị a na-egbu. Anyị na-sponsor kwa ndị nọ n'ọhịa. Anyị na-sponsor kwa legal proceedings. Anyị na-sponsor kwa everything. Onwekwa ebe ego dị ọ na-akpa anyị. So otu a ka o si dị. Ihe ị ga-eme wụ that na ị gaa na newspaper, ị ga-ahụ na IPOB si no sit at home. News ebuge. And Nigeria dị go weak. Ị ma anyị ga-eme ya. Onwezi ihe ọbụla i mere ga-ebugide ya Kanu. Anyị na-eme na anyị na-ebere gị akwa. Ihe anyị jikwa na-agwa gị ihe awụ so that echi ga-eblame director na onwe ihe ọ gwara gị. Ọ ya mere o ji ma allow ya zicha ụmụnne ya. Ya bịazie ndị IPOB leadership ikwetebeghị lawyer ikweteghị ya cherecha ha akparịcha nwunye ya sị nwunye ngwa ga-agwazie ha okwu. Ịnọ here na-eti mkpu ịma na nwunye director gara ahụ ya na DSS. Jugodo onwe gị kedu ihe ụta IPOB leadership shi mee ya ga-ahụ ya ejideghị ya. Ihe mbụ a na-agba jụọ onwe gị kedu otu esi secure ya 2 times sit our leader a week or this ambazoni ama ebe their leader nọ because ha nọ arm struggle. Director nọ arm struggle ga ama ebe ọ nọ achọ ofu barak dewe. Ghọtara ihe na-eme there. Now 2 times sit a week gburu Nigeria. Ịta ya ahụ taa echi nwanne echi lawyer abịa ya ọgwụ ya hụrụ onye akpọpụ ya court ọ dọrọ m aka n'akwa now Nigeria regret is that because ka happy here ka ha ji deny ya isend ya kuje ugbu na anyị na-ahụzi na mechazi egwazi Simon to take the mind away from our leader that they should not listen to anybody in DSS, that they should do everything to free him. That is stupidity. Only a criminal can get me like that. Not an international man. The lawyer. You must meet him ndị lawyer na ha hụcha director mana director with their strength onye ga idea eba uru na ịwụ san ime itie ya ọgwa ihe ị ga-eme na case ya ga-aba uru ihe a na-achọ emetụbeghị brain odogwu ka esi m hapụ na m egele ya ntị na-ege nne gị ka nna gị ntị odogwu was missing for 1 year and emere ụlọ ya attack na Ụmụahịa ejekwara ebe ọ nọ the same leadership ha edere ya n'Israel nke ugbu a ya nọ 8 days ha jụọ gị ka ihe leadership na-eme ha ma ebe awa leader nọ 8 days ejekwa anyị ka ebe ọ nọ 1 year stupidity of a black man 1 year anyị nọ na-eme campaign ha bụ ya anya ozu director 1 year esekwa na sabotage 8 days ka esi anyị gwa gị ihe mere director ugbu a ha na-aga court ka ihe director ji aga court ma ọ bụ na anyị likiri gị secret ihe mere some people na-agba over speed and igba over speed emu Ishmael ọ ihe mere Abraham ihe ịkpa alakpu ha ga and ha ga-aga amụwa Ishmael and all confusion because ị na-agba ụzọ ị na-amaghị ụzọ ị na-ama ụzọ ị na-agba ụzọ ị na-agba ụzọ ị na-amaghị ụzọ ị na-agbabe before ị ga-amebe pothole ụlọ ị need in over speed ị ga-amebe sharp bending nọ here nọ na the matter. This is Ogwai story. They brought it to our fathers. Ha no defense. Ha chọkwa inye anyị defense again. Defense a ka ị na-adọtakwa ugbu a. Ịgbali egbe elu amabịa ha ga alaza. They will molest you. Gị nwe ga-abịazikwa ebe ahụ bịa defend our people. Ịlakpuo na-ebe akwa ke ndị ga-akpọ DOS. Beta ọ gị gbaliri egbe. DOS ọgwa gị gbali egbe. The same people who send agent ka agbali egbe na community ka agbali ha agba ọsọ amabịa ha sị gị DOS should send our men arọ na agba gị mgbe ị gara ịgbali egbe elu ị gwara ha na ị na-agbali egbe. You that shoot gun ga no defend there. No, because you are an agent. So onye nwere question ya jụọ ihe IPOB na do Biafra. Anyị nwere IPOB registered in different part of the world. Now some people get confused onwe ha sị na everybody born in the eastern region of Biafra is IPOB by birth. Yes. But in my right, he discuss IPOB structure. He get discuss Biafra. Do you know why? Dave Umahi IPOB by birth. Uzodema IPOB by birth. But he is not led by Nnamdi Kanu. He will IPOB Nnamdi Kanu they took oath. But the whole Biafrans are not carrying her along. That is to say, carry her along. But you ruterege, nega ro. How? And we can order sit at home. Isorogo. Or who must nega wipe your family member? You are not there. Now, we talk ordinary religion, my Christianity. If we can discuss here, I need discuss Christ. You will join. It doesn't matter your church. I need discuss the Bible. You will join. I need discuss heaven. You will join. Maka here jikọrọ anya ọnụ. Any discuss Christianity you join. But ndị Catholic discuss wacha plate ha. Ị ga-esi na assembly bịa condemn mo. O your business maka nke ị na-eme ha condemn be ya. Ị ga-abịa na Catholic ha wepụ mmeri. Ọ mgbe ha gwara gị na Bible a na nwere ọzọ arọ ga-egwu ha wetagodi eke ịhụ because ọ ihe unu kwekọrịtara. Church doctrine ọwụ ihe unu kwekọrịtara different by different. Otu aka ọ dịkwa na IPOB. Ị na-adọ nwere enwe ma sọp enwe ndị ọzọ. Ọ na Simon ha chọrọ ịdọ nwere onwe na ikwe na director. I use aha gị. Don't bring Kanu closer because ihe ọ bụla ị mere ị ga-aga ide ya. Nye account of it. You can't use my name na-eme ihe m na-aga eme account. Ị na account on me. Onye ha na-etikwe mgbe na onwe onye o diri gị na-emekwa na aha ya. Then you are evil. The only thing na confuse unu na-akpọ Biafra itiwe mkpu you can't reason. Na mmadụ tiri Biafra gwa gị freedom under government plan does not mean na onye ahụ ịdị intelligent ịmana ihe onye ahụ na-ewetara gị. Na mmadụ na-ewetara gị destruction ị na-eti mkpu ya dị ka ị ga-ahụ onye ahụ echi ka ọ bịa defend ya gị. Kedu village ya ka ebe ụlọ ha nọ? Amị ọgago park ọnụ ụlọ ha before. But amị na park n'ụlọ Benjamin Madbug. Amị ma ụlọ ka anọ ha kedu adreesị onye ị na-eche ị na-ege ntị kedu village ya kedu direct be nna ya. Mụghachi from ndị Agbọ. I'm from Mundiabo and any local government, Ojiva province, Biafra land. The whole world of Mara, maybe Kedevish. Come web trade tweet Sheikh Husane. Sheikh Husane say Eba from Black India. Eba reply yeah. Sheikh from Southern Sudan. Why not reply you only Sheikh Husane from Kaduna, Adamakwa. This was projected. This is a man saying Nnamdi Kanu no ga apology. Maka ihe mere ike kwere mmadụ. Adamakwa. Simon Ekpa na video. Oh, ya gwara mgbe after ịhụbe video gị na-asị na okay Nnamdi Kanu na aga ya apology to Ekweremadu ihe mere na Germany. Ọkwa ya nwa tweetiri sị na ndị a na-eme Ado Biafra anaghị disturb business ndị mmadụ ihe afa back tweet ya na ha miscreant na wote ese eme Biafra. After emechara Ekweremadu ihe a ha niile ọ nọ there o so ha bịa. He was there with Ekweremadu ha. Ọha ndị isi ọhaneze na Finland. Simon was there. E mere interview ka ihe ọhụrụ. Ya sịrị ihe mere ya adịghị mma. Na Kanu ga-ayị apology. Ebe nke a nọ mee the meeting. Ekweremadu ha nọ. A planụzie ka a store ya. Ha bịa project ihe onye nọ na platform ya. Emere Atiku campaign 2019. Ha sizi oke ka channel Auto Biafra. Ha wetawezi exposition from Nigerian politics. Abịa ha eweta ihe onye Hausa ma onye Fulani mere nye ya gụọ na exposition to attract you. Ozugbo emere attract, ha plot ndị ga-emit director recommend onye atọ ya nwa. Ha nwekwa ndị meet director recommend ya ka onye anọ na platform ya ka ọ bịa dị eme interview. Enwe ihe anyị na-ahụla na struggle, then ịma na ihe ahụ na-aka ahụhụ struggle. Unu just hang ya n'elu. Mmadụ gbalị egbe elu ịmali, hey our men, ịmaghị the danger. So ọ dị gị ka director command anyị mebiwe ha, ya ga-emebi. Kedu the repercussion? The world will condemn you. Because of ihe ọ sign. Ebe ọ sign ihe nọ open. Ị ga sign self-determination bịa bulie am. Mgbe ị ga-ebuli am mgbe ị mechara self-determination ha jụ. Also when we reach to the last point and there is no other route to follow, then we'll strike. By then we have followed the due proceedings. What they did to our father is what they want to do to us. Global conspiracy. Russia block Goye. Here we don't go meeting us of our oil. The only channel when now oil line, here can hand in Nigeria naba, and I say my terrorists. I bought somewhere under 5 days, including Sunday. By forcing, I have poesy release Kanu. I will terrorists, educate terrorists now share the oil. America bring Nigeria to Kanu a fighter to fight terrorists. Use bear. Why? IPOB draw to US government. Sihana na terrorists are no ever. No anyone can actually do it. And the Yoruba. US are nezo that say use Kwalena East, use Lana South. Since I use Ghana North. They now want to create a scenario. Can the whole world man with terrorists, name insurgents in Alibo. So that I wasn't okay, or I use it here. But Unamage, Onana Aquaka Woge. As if Nika in Wobi and I buy a Ndana to die with what I am on and I say I shoot. Ika in Wobi. Ika in Wobi, I buy a cricket and National High School, I can Aquana Quack. And I order now, Mad Lila Boss, or Governor Lila Boss. They knew.
Yes.
Bubu anama lila boss enu ha na okay owura POB nyere sit at home na trouble gad. Yes. Ndị ụka ga-ekwu okwu. On them ndị nyere order. Monday, Tuesday sit at home. Right? Ha na-enye different illegal and onwebe nke rụrụ ọrụ. Duto no ihe ederede ime nke a ikwu nke a agafe ikwu nke a agafe ikwu ị ga-ekwukwe result edekwa after mo hapụnụrụ because ederede ihe ederede wote esheme ya ikwu nke a agafe ikwu nke a agafe ikwu nke a agafe October ka agwa gị na flag ga nọ the whole Biafra land ihe a niile ị na-emego obi ọma anyị abeghị ime mmadụ obi ọma Directors anyị akọla mmadụ ihe na ga-eme ka anyị gwa ya otu ọ dị iwe ọ na-ewe gị onwe gị anọkọta bịa mee gị obi ụtọ na Biafra na-abịa mgbe mmadụ nye gị deeti Biafra ọ mgbe ị ga-agawara onwe gị mgbe mmadụ nye gị deeti mgbe Biafra na-abịa na-agụrụ gị ya gwazie gị na ọ chọrọ ka director pụta ọ ka ọ pụta bịa restore ya gịnịkwa ebe gị nwa na-enwela Biafra nwee deeti mgbe ọ ga-abịa ga-ezikwana ihe director na-abịa ifriz kwuo udo dị ajụ ka ị ga-ajụ ọmụ ajụ broadcast
okwu Simon Ekpa kwuru.
Yes.
Mgbe a ejide Mazi na Kenya.
Yes.
Ọ na-aba mba sị kedu ihe mere na DOS ejide Kanu for 8 days. O nwere ka ha si wee chọpụta na-eji ya onye isi para mata. Na-ekwu na DOS ri bribe. Anadụgbo m ya na ọnụ Tina Samoru.
Na gịnị mekwere?
Na ọ na-edefend onwe na Nigeria na-asị na highly bribe.
Only point or 8 days because
8 days.
But you know never see so ya. Na-ele anya n'elu. na-ekwucha ya gị laghachi ebe ahụ ka m laghachikwa ịma na o nwere mmụọ na-anọ m n'ihu ọ na-anọ m n'ime ọ na-abanye mmasị kweshọn ụfọdụ nọ mmadụ n'obi kọsa nọ na ị ga-asị asachala m ọtụtụ kweshọn enwe mmụọ na-edu m anya m eburu kasta betụ m nọ hie gwa gị na dairektọ na-emere ụlọ ya ataki na Ụmụahịa ya nọ na Septemba 14 mgbe o mere apịa na Israel Ọktoba 14 2018 betụ nke a 27 1 year gịnị mere jụkwa anya ebe ọ nọ 1 year onye ri bribe 1 year kedu onye ri bribe 1 year buga direct Israel ọha anyị na-ajụ ejụkwara ya ndị ahụ so direct ịma nọ supreme leader ma na-emere statement gbanyụọ ha ga-eme Facebook ga-eme ihe attack don't you know na-emere direct statement ụbọchị Osokome nwa ya na-agba nkwụ nwa ya na-alụ onye Ọnịcha director jiri eji ọfọ ka ọ ga represent director na occasion onye akpọrọ Nnamdi Kanu but represented by Ejiofọ ịghọtara ịgbawa egbe ghọọ terrorist barrister ga-evisit director terrorist a na-enwe lawyer ihe ahụchi ihe nyere Simon ha n'aka ịgbawa egbe onwe ihe ị ga-emewe Nigerian gọọmenti agwazie gị na Nigerian intelligence na Abuja na ha achọpụtago na ESN chọrọ ịbịa ma attack at DSS facility and na ha chọrọ ike ịpụ Kanu in a safe place by then ebuje ya jaji barak ụtụtụ enye mamịrị terrorist does not have lawyer terrorist does not have lawyer but to have lawyers. Did you understand? So 8 days ahụ jụzie onwe gị onye ahụ na-agwa gị ma onye ahụ na-eme mmadụ niile ma nwunye director wee onye oshi o rere director ndị be director rere ya IPOB leadership rere director lawyers rere director ya nwa wụzie holy man. No, I want to know now. Director ọkwa ndị ahụ ka ọ na-eyuzu na-esecure vetri gị nwa awụzi holy man nwebeghị ihe inyere ya ọkwa the same lawyers na-esecure ya vetri iji Nigeria n'olu ịma na ọkọ tụrụ rulings Nigeria ọ ya mere ha ji nye Simon Ekpa agenda of election. That is their only escape route to make sure na asị na IPOB tiri aka na disruption of election which is against civil rights and against international law. Mmere na IPOB ji gwa ha na ya etinye bụ ọnụ n'ihe election ihe achọrọ referendum ha ya na-eti mkpa election since emechaa gwa ya ga ebe a na-eme campaign na ya dị ndị ga-eyi okpu Biafra ga mee attack asịkwa IPOB na ya sịghị na ọwụwa anyị nwe Reno Mokiri ọchị ime Peter Obi attack ya kwuo IPOB sit at home ya okwu IPOB ya okwuta IPOB ya okwuta o mekiri chọ ha chọrọ ka IPOB join ya Peter Obi we fail ha chọrọ ka anyị kanta election isi ha na election ha egbuwe politician ha gbuo asa IPOB or in one idea. But Simon etinye election owutebe due to gịnị ha mana ha nyere ya 70% of followers already from Lorita Onochie contracted student union ego phone nye ha onye Fulani na-aza aha Igbo na Facebook the whole Facebook Lorita Onochie mepere ya logo in na phone nyecha aha ya a na-akwụ ha 14,000 ndị 15 ndị 30 ihe ama wee bịa Simon na-ekwu okwu adị wee Simon jụọ ya ihe ọ maghị ya just na ihe a gwara ya dị ọgwụla or you telling us we don't know gwa m nke ị ga-agwa anyị na-amaghị onweghị meaning na IPOB ekwu gị na ọ dịghị if somebody chọrọ ịforce gị into criminality how ị ga-eji eme ihe na-enweghị meaning you want to kill yourself by yourself ehu director lelechara hụ na Monday ga-ejide ya n'olu any court iwegara ikpegbuo ya ịma ihe o mere or suspend the IPOB leadership or cancel gị the sit at home Monday ịma ihe o mere ya move ya suspend ya Monday move to the date of court. Experienced man, do you know what it means? It is easy to explain to anybody that now my people are in solidarity with me because I goes to court. Now get your statement on Monday. Now ask yourself, why did Nnamdi Kanu suspended it? Government agwaze Simon hijaring bank commit to a crime. Now I commit a crime. The media saw IPOB. IPOB has seen a one. Then Simon Aga because no one. Your dodge kwa rukwe next Monday hate you. Echem ko ime ihe bụ nwe otuto enye mmadụ otuto ị ga-asị mba na ọmụnwa nwe ya na we not say IPOB otuto ha reject ya dị otuto for 1 year you take ibe otuto inyebekwa na account ka emere eme but IPOB DESN ka eme enforce open grazing ma ụlọọkpa Fulani tụọ mgbe ha gwaghị na ọha nwa mere ya no ESN mere ya ga-eme gịnị ụbọchị ESN go ESN na Nsụka egosi vidio na ESN go ESN It is not a criminal manner ka ị na-eme. A na-eme criminality. Do you know that people che know ESN one non-government? But I won't know. So these are things people need. 70% now ESN. But why we cheered the non-government earlier is because I want to ask the answer to our prayer. Because I be like governor Azari, senator Azari, I look at how they will attack government. That was not the one. About none there can attack. No problem. Not a watching a kid. Did you understand? Now, after Haro Charia, Indian Kuba now, they are not go burial. Okay, non-government. And Hanagi Hassan how ESN. Imagine a criminal that cannot be proud to commit crime with his as a name of criminal. Only criminal on a JD card. How come you come to collect ransom? No, you ESN. Then you were plotted by the governors. All these criminals, Simon Amaha initially. The names, the contact in the Naka governor. Unobla with a criminal and the political talks there and hand that over to Yama. Call them and give them order to commit crime. Simple. Many don't know them. But ESN have aim reform. ESN will a shorty. ESN I am on your blow ESN personnel a bush. So what we are doing is so that Mbeka Biafra, had we allowed them to destroy ESN, villages carry protest. I saw ESN, and those both BBC Iburia, you are gone. But I make it sure. Now I don't didn't make crime. You go do wegi low to Madushi no na Ali only Igbo. You should declare armed struggle. No na Israel govern Eku. But I feel be govern because they gave the instruction. Hello to Madushi declare my government in Israel. Usbi declare I'm a bidobuani. Usbi declare I'm a bidobu. But he declared he go see army. That is fake. And they can mention 2, 3, or 4 cabinets, which your people will appoint for you. Your people will appoint for you because you will discuss with your people in any other hand. Or enforcement. Civility cannot be enforced. And you can't enforce it at home. Or you are civil. If you enforce it, it's not civil. And you make campaign here already. So maybe I was a civil. Now let me sit at home I made voluntarily. Kaina no akany. Nde burebu buria. The whole violence condemn that peaceful one I made na yard. Do you know why? Onwe bu onye putanye press release si na ta Monday na anyi wa in charge. But IPOB may imapo afenye press release. Onye press release UN away the press release file lawyer. Are you aware? Now, a man in neighbor Monday, man able to IPOB, a man I defend the UN. Each and every back on a newspaper. When a paper in a UN. Also, the IPOB, in my poor Fabian press release to counter it. My people are more one. Oh, when we had the challenge food in my IPOB message, I use the normal law. Normal law, they high one. Ni one man na be anyoshe na zoology. Jidea, makajola mahasi na one. I have your vehicle. When I name a first sit at home, I say no one. In where Jidea, Nigerian police may arrest. Now, their name is Simon. Hey, when did the DOS started working with DSS? They told police to arrest our men. Now, leave and I honor Yoshi. And I honor criminal. How come Obodo Kanebaki Akwi Konso, but Obodo Nangongo, na baby one, Nangongo, baby bush, Nangongo, na double lion. Oyoshi won Angongo. Ezbo mmadụ nwụọ eno n'uju ikonseri bebe ericha be uju but ndị ochi niile awụ obodo na-eweta information na onye ochi but ikonso wụ politician with information obodo ekwe with information because onye na-eche ha but ị na-disturb obodo all the ordinary person get with information ebe a ga-ejide. Do you see why those criminals is in Njide? We don't ESN na-agbali egbe jide ha ejide ha mgba ka iji BTA Nigeria anyị abịa sị ha na ịhụ ha jide ya. How many questions no IPOB na IPOB I say okay, now you got ban and down name ha. ma ọ bụ na ha akwụsịghị ya Simon Ekpa ha sị ha mewe anyị asụsụ oke ka anyị kpọọ aha ha anyị akpọzi aha ha sị they are calling the names of our men on radio for the army to catch them. Did you understand? Mgbe ọbụla ịkpọrọ meeting n'obodo ka fight ya criminal ndị na-aghasa ya wụ ndị ahụ na-akọmiti mgbe ọbụla plan for echekwa ebe a onye ọbụla aghasara ya ọha nwa wụ ndị na-akọmit crime. So ihe a na-emewu ka anyị na-edo ndị mmadụ anya because director adịghị after ma ị lọsụrụ but ihe ọ ga-eje ejidego ihe ndị anyị gwara gị. So ọhịa m na-agwa unu m jọsụrụ gbabata ebe a eji too m masị ka m dotu anya so unu jichi ike onye gwara gị na enwere sit at home gwakwa ya na ọ onye iro gị o. 1 mmadụ emetụbeghị director onye dị mmegbu ọ nọkwa dị na-eti ya enwekwa rekọdụ Nnaemeka ziri o sendịrị mapụ afọ mmecha ugbu a mee play kwari unu nke esendịrị mapụ afọ from barista Nnaemeka Ejiofọ ka m play yari unu ma emecha. Thank you ụmụ Chineke. I will be bringing it to an end from here. Ka Chukwu abịa ma gọzie unu ebe ọ bụla unu nọ. Ihe kacha wụ favor ọkwa favor ka o nyere Joseph to the extent that na Potiphar chọpụtara na Joseph nwee favor. Ọkwa ya ka the same Joseph ji gaa na nke Fero ahụkwa favor. Ọ ya ka anyị na-ayọ n'isi unu ka favor ya dakwasị unu nwa bekee hụ unu ka o lefekwere n'anya na ebubo Naijiria bụrụ anyị na-eme ha hụ unu ha na-enyo unu ka Chineke nye unu ihu ọma ebe ọ bụla unu nọ. Ndị ke nọkwa n'ala Biafra o nwere ndị iro n'ebe a bịara igbu anyị ịmakwa otu isi na-emehie ya ihu ha na ngwa ọgụ ha nọ hie since ha mere years ha egbuchabeghị anyị. Eze udo mewekwenụ ihe ya nara ekele n'ihi na iji Nnamdi Kanu zodo ha ụkwụ n'isi. Nara ekele otu isi mee ha disobey court order. Imere eze udo n'ihi na anyị ma na ọ last miracle. Director sị na ha ga-eme ihe niile kwụsị anyị ọkwa na ya ka ha na-eme. Ọ sị na ha ga-agba mbọ niile na ọ gaghị awọk. Nara ekele nara otuto ihe anyị na-eji akpọ gị bụ n'oge ka o prezentịrị ọ sị na ọ gị nwa ọhụkwa na onye ọzọ na-egosiri anyị ọ gị nwa Chukwu abịa ma mgbe ọbụla anyị abịakwute gị anyị jichi gị ike ụta Elijah jijisie gị ike mgbe ha chọrọ ịkpọ chi ga-eji ọkụ eri aja. Elijah nwere ihe ọ gwara gị ọ sị na ọ bụ n'ime ala Baal were ọkụ rie aja n'ugwu ga alago bikos na ịma na Baal na-ejikwa ọkụ eri aja. Ọkwa ya nwa mere iji gbanyụọ ọkụ ndị amụma Baal ma elu ma ala ọkụ enwughị. Ọkwa ya ka anyị nyere gị Chineke anyị nwekwere gị nke a n'olu na anyị ga-eji Biafra efe gị ọ gwụla onwe ihe ọzọ ka ụmụ anyị gwa ndị mmadụ na enwere chi maka ha echefugo chi. Imele eze udo n'ihi na ebu chi lakwa ndị iro anyị n'iyi ma ndị ka ịka na-ezo ezo mekwe ka ha pụta anyị na-atụ ụjọ. Ihe anyị nidiri yuzu anyị eyuzula sọsọ angel anyị dị ready maka anyị dị capable. So ndị na-ezo ezo mee ka ha pụta ihe so that mgbe director ga-apụta ka ọ na anyị alụgbuola ha ka director hụ free way ka o nwee ike duru anyị gawa n'aha gị chi ukwu okike abịa amara pụrụ ime ihe niile. We have prayed. Ise. Thank you ụmụ Chineke. From me the fearless IPOB evangelist Mazi Nwachukwu, and from here our homeland radio Biafra. It is
It is 1:42.
Okay, it is good afternoon. Thank you. ụmụ Chineke.
Radio Biafra. We saturate the whole of Biafra land. Wherever you are, just touch the dial 102.1 FM. Olu, Owerri, Enugu, Anambra, Abakaliki, Nsukka, Asaba, and many more. Radio Biafra. We got you covered. Radio Biafra, the first and the last.
Now, why somebody did na Finland na-enye order saying ha no government in exile, then why you declare your armed struggle? What's actually not self-determination? Now, if you declare armed struggle, get any business in way with a sit at home. Even a sit at home with civil disobedience. Now, each is able now for civility. How have you ever seen civil servant make protest today? Army cannot protest without a gun because they are armed. Now, army aga for civil disobedience. This is struggle I know. They declare armed struggle have no right to call for civil disobedience, and civil disobedience are me enforce. Me enforce. If you enforce it, it is uncivil. Civility cannot be enforced. Civility is by decision. Now, if you enforce it, you are discrediting IPOB in all their sit at home because all voluntarily. Now, you want to show the world none of them may enforce. Discreditation. Now, government did an agenda. Now, ask yourself. Kedu ndị na-ekweghị na court ruling, ha ekweghị na court proceeding, ha ekweghị na civil disobedience, sorry, ha ekweghị na political solution, okay, na court political solution, referendum political solution, free Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally political solution. Right? Now, how come you declare armed struggle, declare no checking point, declare government in exile? Can you declare armed struggle without presenting two army in uniform? But the director said not Fulani na bush or present the ESN. How do somebody in Finland declare government in exile, declare armed struggle without presenting two army or one? That is to say, actually, government is there because he present the army. Government will ask you, on the director present the ESN, government is there because all they play the show. Now, the case of free Nnamdi Kanu, anything violence because court is discharged again. The government, the word on the neck of Nigerian government. Why have you not free Nnamdi Kanu? Because ING inhibited na court, they send them bowa, they court to Nigeria. Now, I'm not saying free here. How any reason now? Wagging and dinner so and a woman na southeast. Ima onana watahane. Ubu now government abia project ya through Nigerian army. Omar Musa, a 2 division commander. Wetrofu 5 days ageje ebu bata Fulani. Imona watahane. Fulani will come in. Because when we are alert, I don't know name on a Hibu Batan, Fulani Hammer in a video. Now get alarm. Now 5 days Simon non agenda, Ohanese non agenda, governors non agenda, can governor has criminalize IPOB can have holy again. Now how go IPOB Buga all the contract and Simon. Make sure we become holy again. IPOB wasn't that hate, can has evil. Right? Or the agenda. That is why IPOB needs it at home. Order. Ega hold the governors hane enye account there. Ega hold commissioner of police hane enye order na say better could be all their plan. You go ni sin dem warn order. Ha warn obegi. All their plan. No warning. All do tonight we mpo haneze bie yesterday. Ma bata ha so haneze ku oku. Iku oku si dev ma ya me instruct. Ya me advice ka oku se. Haneze na akpo dev ma. They are supposed to write to the Finnish government. See no when ebe ha na enye ala Igbo nsogbu. Why do they tell them? Because all their own business. Now, how can somebody not declare government in exile? Governors have a meeting. But IPOB in order sit at home, have a meeting because have not their plan. How do somebody declare armed struggle? Maybe why no way governor okuro? Onwe politician okuro? Onwe foreign affairs, Nigerian foreign affairs Minister of Information Lai Mohammed, Army Chief Defense Minister Madu Jaha Biafra declare government in exile. Biafra. That is the ige ota ngwano age donye na aganozo na sega IPOB. But when ndi na enye order gbo madu government akpoto be ha. Why akpo be ha? But age donye na aganozo ase IPOB because IPOB ka aha no na cases ebogidere Kanu. Ndị a na-ekwu okwu aha ha reflect na case. So government ikpo aha ọ gaghị enwe meaning. Ndị nọ na charge say director IPOB and ndị nọ na lead IPOB. So ndị need to tarnish IPOB and IPOB need to secure the name because I am Mary God. How can you endure massacre, national high school killing, 9th of February 2016, Igaogo? Mpo massacre, 29th to 30th May 2016, Igaogo. Igbocha massacre, IPOB in solidarity with Donald Trump, 20 January 2017, Emene massacre, and the first killing of IPOB happened in Onitsha. 30th of August 2015 by Willie Obiano, 2 people died, 29 injured. We didn't go to war. Right? Now, Emene massacre, 23rd of August 2020, we didn't go to war. Obiubo massacre, from October 18 down 2020, we launched ESN, send the Hanoya, government about Simon, Yaguagina, Onyohu ESN. Ndị mmadụ na-emebere ya n'Imo abịa na ego I signal our men no ụmụọma to turn our people against IPOB ka our people si na ihe awụrụ Biafra na ha achọzi ya but ọ na-adị unu ugbu a mgbe ị gbara ọsọ ka ọ ga-edo gị anya ka ị ga-amacha onye ahụ ị na-eti anya ị ga-emecha chọwa ị ga-ahụ ya gọọmenti will save but lekwa onye nke ị chọrọ isave gị ebe o were onwe ya dewe. Now ask yourself, how do somebody that want Nnamdi Kanu to be out na ọ dị enye gị date but Biafra ga-abịa ọ director ga-enye gị date? Wait, you love Kanu. This is agawa anyị na-agazi na ma bi weta Biafra ke Biafra nke Kanu na bi weta. The man lost group family. He ga mawu ka ya nwapụta ka ihe na-enyere date na account to people they only to draw hope ka divert their people because the agenda of the government is Nana Kanu power. How do you take power? Anaria power anyị mecha anyị release ọ ga-enwezi power. Divide ndị na-eso ozi ya ka na-enwe akpa obi ihe o nwewo structure akpa obi onweghị structure ahụ wo strength ya ọ ma na-enye ọda na ọ ga-adị. Now somebody abịa sị gị ga-egela anybody in DSS ntị ka ị nwee ike gewe ya nwantị. Somebody agwa gị na ya nwa spokesperson Biafra why na-enwetabe Biafra why na-emapụ afọ publicity secretary IPOB ịbịa na Biafra enwe market leaders ha nwekwe their spokesperson, enwe politicians ha nwe their spokesperson, enwe religious leaders ha nwe their spokesperson. How come iji wụrụzie spokesperson ndị Biafra gị nwa mekwuru onwe gị appoint enwego Biafra government iji enye appointment in the name of Biafra, then you are mocking the Biafra because ị na-agwa ndị ọcha na Biafra ị na-enwetebe na inwego appointment, you are trying to ridicule. Did you understand? Why na ịma na-abịa na Biafra agitation na enwe MASOB, enwe BIM, enwe BZDM, enwere EPC, Eastern People's Congress, enwe BNL, enwere BNG. Ndị a niile na-adọ Biafra. Biafra bụ ime akaụntụ ihe dọtara. Right? How? Ọwụ na ha chọrọ ịdọ nwere onwe na ha wee fit na ha na-adọ nwere onwe. Why iji eme Kanu attach? I was a Masobian. Kanu was onye Masob. Mgbe e kreatiri IPOB e wetara ha MASOB there. Why somebody iji chọọ ịtanish aha anyị? Ha sị na ha was autopilot. Do you know the meaning of autopilot? Plane without pilot. That is to say, automatically you become a fool. You don't have leadership. You don't have channel. Ihe a chọrọ mgbe ahụ ka anyị join ya atụweni ha director atala onwezi ndị ọ na-edu. Did you understand? So that is the issue. How do you come in the month of December? Director anọla dị ezi ozi, oziela Ozokombo ozi, oziela barrister Nnamdi Jof ozi, zoo barrister Jof ozi. Gwa gị na ndị na-eme ihe na gọọmenti zụrụ ha azụ. Na ya nwe merigo case ya. O merigo na UN. Ojukwu lọgụ 3 years UN etighị ọnụ. But such an IPOB hold international law for 1 year upon intimidation nọ here. UN etighị ọnụ. But Ojukwu chọrọ ka eti ọnụ etighị ọnụ. But director maintain ya ha tiri ọnụ. Aga na court Nigeria na Ụmụahịa, State High Court Ụmụahịa, 19th of January 2022. Court rule that na Nnamdi Kanu agbaghị ọsọ na jump bail. No mere assassination attempt. O mere escape as military assassination attempt. Or he mere escape. And the government ga compensate. Enyecha the ruling. Nigeria emego ebe. Anya ga appeal court. Begbuo ha discharge aka anụ si na onwe onye kwesịrị ikpe ya ikpe na court ọbụla. And onwe court ga-ekpe direct ikpe again. Ebe a onwezi ndị ga-ekpe ya ikpe. Then Nigeria disobey ye. Anya gakwa Federal High Court Ụmụahịa. Court discharge say return no back to Kenya. Now onye gwara gị that na ya mere enforce sit at home Monday for 1 year. Out of this result now, gbam the reflection. Onwebo reflect na free Nnamdi Kanu. Now, imebe account ndị ka igburu egbu Monday for 1 year. Ifri ibegi ndị ka gara ime enforce sit at home nọ na nka, hundreds of them. Nchọrọ ka IPOB free ha anya asị gị mgbe ime onye anyere gị ọda gakwu ya. Let them send you a lawyer. Ọkwa ị nọ na nga but IPOB no wrong guy, we send lawyer. Then when you go gaga me madam force in nanga or just say o send the picture again na net ka ho go do na ejige o jukwa na esege o jugi ya bikwa say gi me ozo email account nke email raro 1 year. Because the whole result free Nnamdi Kanu from court, from the same IPOB leadership, according to the direction from Nnamdi Kanu. Only a criminal gang on a detention. Criminal gang here actually has adopted without him make omara. Only na freedom. Inge make omara. You go with the freedom much. You can't take Kanu nega choto shaputa no way power. He choto shaputa. Ogaroshi. So if you to do anyhow with his name. Now you want to on a guy says you want to ridicule it. But Sam, before him he haga what direct. You only have instruction. You say you want to do. Leadership of IPOB with a rule direct on a table and he send direct. All like you wait 2 weeks before you reply them. Because all you had in charge. More reply, but they can't give order. So all me somebody not at say when you get do to and that is to say they want to take power from him, right? Yeah, with the foundation now. Self-determination can you go do already. It's already self-defense.
And self-defense. Self-defense.
The director Sege, ESN will do this for us. Now, how do we do it? Before we do it, we need to create the scenario of Yemen, the scenario of Somalia, the scenario of Syria, in the northern part of the damnable Republic of the Zoo, not in Biafra land, sorry. Ebage create that noise. Also, no, northern part. Not here. Did you understand? Now, Yagwazeg again. They want to force us into premature war, but we are more intelligent than them. What we have to do is, we have to be patient and follow instruction. That's how they forced our fathers into war after Aburi Accord agreement. Okay, when I forced Ojuku into war. Now, self-defense has been a natural law. No matter where you defend yourself. But you cannot instigate a trouble against your whole family. If you want to defend yourself, you gotta defend your own. Each is Rosh, her family against Rosh. Did you understand? Now, self-defense. Why you launch the ESN? According to international law, it's an ESN township. ESN roll here, Naya Dagiu. Do you know why? I get you maka ESN no help. I to send that no help. But how would Simon help? I go na ESN on our edu na communities. Why not coordinate with channel to ESN? Don't worry, I can equal self-defense. I'm separate self-determination or decide that he got warrior referendum. Or your self-determination. Self-defense, oh, Mado Biari Bugi, get defend your own way. Now, Nigerian army. Now sponsor Fulani to kill us. I am launching ESN to defend our boundaries. Here the ESN will restoring Biafra 2020. Here no since we defense, but we are defending it international. Because since I want to be security in Kanu, no one involved in our politics. Only ESN, and they send the how na boundaries. Boundary what that all here. Right? When I want to hear that Abraham or Banter. Now this township can Nigeria actually move at Ogwanya to Hagawa here. And Hajupanega no here because Hamana or gauge IPOB or less Maloreba before Jidan. That's why the director let's send the army. So self-defense and self-determination are the issue. And the self-defense I may apply. Now, is it when you come to your community, army available your community, or when you get the army, which means army sent you. Because he cannot stand the army. And there's a thing now, our man. That is confusion. How can in a burial somebody be an agego? Just again now, why not ESN on that time? Who the matter would have big? Simon help our ESN or IPOB or whoop the IPOB. Director say, gay and singing gay my ego, my ego Yoruba. Listen to Omote Biafra. Listen to Ikenga Uruago. Listen to Ikem Patrick. How do about 20 directors agent, as agent, or say take instruction from them? Now, director suspend them at Radio Biafra. Memo, I will director get memo. Onye get memo HODOS. And onye can sign here HOD upon not director on your order. Now let us go to O to 5 POB. Again at the beginning of oath, that I, Mazi solemnly and voluntarily swear to be absolutely loyal to the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu there first. Mboya there, but only before you oppose with DOS. Now the oath you take, you go to all radio. Abiatie come Abiasege and Nnamdi Kanu, director of Radio Biafra. Now, the actual mad onega sign here DOS. Yotla the key. Tuto again, young general commander, the top man he gauge there at any time. Then the government will be there. Or Hebrew Sarewa, or Hebrew Abiola, and when structure. When they catch you, your friends will run away. Because of politics. When you run away, they will kill you. But this one is not friends. This is a structure. Now government want to destroy it completely. Then in anything a project, directors now infiltrator and moles. Government project for years. After having cause of failure, 4 more tripod, 4 more iPod, 4 more Radio International. Yeah, failure. In Cuba now, how with Tezego, making sure that people buy an IPOB no go do already. How many years I plan to kidnap director? Uzbek kidnap their hand strike here with allegation. Can do the allegation? He hated the leadership, then director knows alone. He hated higher happy and alone. And when he got off time, Ujo Nigeria with the structure, not individual. The structure, no one who you get him, no one get him. And the case in Nigeria now, on a wine the Grambo, how is here Nigeria? Nigeria report line is here and he mail country by country. When we get a man so Elaine was it your age?
Another thing to age based on
can I address our people man no life? There were no more Chineke. Thank you. I remain the fellow IPOB evangelist Mazi Madam Chungwachuku. I am broadcasting from Biafra land, right here from our homeland Radio Biafra. Here in Biafra land, I guess today is the 8th day of December 2022. Thank you. I am here with our people somewhere in Biafra land, unmentioned, as we continue to enlighten our people, to inform them of the things in our hand on how to restore Biafra that will be honorable before the eyes of God, not in a criminal manner. Thank you for joining us as we are interacting with our people here. Right? We don't get their faces. Thank you. Go ahead.
From the viewer and from the questions now gather from people to know.
Okay. Okay.
I see now Mazi, Simon, Nomer hijack, the fund, erase by Omadike. So when I juicy go to Mazi Simon, she hijacked the fund of IPOB from our finance head. So to counter the young man. But I see there is no how Mazi Simon Akajidina fund. Thank you.
Fund IPOB teacher.
Okay.
Then raise the fund. Now IPOB. You tell me now. No, but I agaga wura hage. Mo aha business gi raise ego. Hello, Tigad. I joined them at Sina Nenyagia. One is a mother before gives raise a fund, meet you on ya, no yaga sign there. So that I got there accountable to. Some people need anyhow Biafra. We never need anyhow Biafra. Anyhow Biafra is like Nigeria. Are you aware? Biafra has rough man direct on it with one high chop. And I am met Ibo. Government cannot send you to turn our people against us. Before IPOB and your order sit at home, Hana consult national coordinator. Yeah, aware. How matter condition of our people? Okay, it's not at any order. And you touch and I reply your leadership. Hasemba. Na haga happy. Na haga use another method. Okay, because Nanka ge make it Indian. Now, Joe Wiggy came and as Oye yana director na arukor. Nnamdi Kanu lecture annual event. My annual event. Oto at 25 December no. A row 25 a change to 26. Ihunu ge bomer. but Nnamdi Kanu made it last year. Because not studied Biafra 20 years. In my home, that 30 May my Sunday. That on Friday, signs or high gary, Nabali Saturday, Nauku has ceased Saturday, Nauku Sigo, no more going out. Yamecha, large back in Nabali Saturday, Biame broker, Semba. Okay, large in a Friday, yes. Saturday morning, call large. Messiah broker, Sina. Nayage, Messiah Sunday, Nage shift here Monday. Reason that our people are too religious. So that people should go to church. How do our fallen heroes say, but one Diane was at home. Why in the Agenese sit at home Sunday? Bagging off Nnamdi Kanu. But Hajebe. Onye Jebo got called for sit at home. You will go to Abuja DSS rescue our leader, not putting our people on fire. IPOB choose court, they go to Abuja court. You want to choose Rebe, go to DSS. That is how it is done. You don't threaten our people. This is Igbo people actually as a slave. How to go on a million war. The same people actually frustrated. People we without referendum has to go to hell with your referendum. There's something you do to an Igbo man, they will reject you. Imagine that now. And I frustrate our people. And a job behind about time.
For long, I lack information. For long, it's not working.
On our road, Aslan is not working. Ega Sina. I'm live. Don't worry, our people, man, don't worry. Now,
that's all I need.
Here could radio Biafra. Oh, you get cool that comes. I give you love FM. Give me a check with Magic FM. You can each check with you another one. Let us address Radio Biafra they on 247. Come on now. I now log we believe. Him at the radio our strength. Osbej the director. Ajam Radio Abia. Gaba right. Abia mezie on our covers everywhere on a kucha on a kunaba but on our cover everywhere. Radio Biafra the Kanu on it and all need you different it and no do IPOB community radio the on but you can get you program the on. Working by gaze work. I am Raja don't worry. Nobody should expect completeness. Oh, an hour, Nigerian way his work. Okay, but when he buying with oil, I know what the resources, right? I know the cause, I not sponsor one day on here, I not sponsor legal proceedings, I not sponsor everything. We go down at ban. So, talk was said. He gave me that now. He got a newspaper. He got on IPOB, no sit at home. No, say boogie. And Nigeria, they go weak. In my hand, when we see him, believe me, they get boogie can. I am not men, I know Berega. He ain't going now wagging how so that he gave blame director. No way, how good I am Roger Malau. Yes, it's a woman there. Yeah, the IPOB leadership. You quit a big lawyer, you quit a Cherecha, Haparisawunya, Yasimunya, Wagagwazeho. In or here, native, a man and we director here at DSS. You go down with kidding you type of leadership, she may, Yaga, a jide. Yambanaba, Joe Wiggy, Kedote is secure ya 2 times the seat our leader a week or this. Ambazoni, I might be the leader because Hano I'm struggle. Director no I'm struggle, guy may born, I chose for Barak the way. What are you made there? Now, 2 times the seat a week, Buru Nigeria. Itaya Hota, each one nature lawyer. You're going for your Popia court. Order Macanaqua. Oh, why? Rotation. Now, Nigeria regret is that because all can happen here. Can Haji deny Yaya isn't the Akuja? When I now say, now it has a Simon to take the mind away from our leader that they should not listen to anybody in DSS, that they should do everything to free him. That is stupidity. Only a criminal can get me like that. Not an international man. The lawyer. You must meet him. The lawyer now won't have director, not director with their strength. Only guy there, a bauru. They will son, he meet here, you're going to get a case, a guy bauru. ihe a na-achọ emetụbeghị brain odogwu ka esi m hapụ na m egele ya ntị na-ege nne gị ka nna gị ntị. Odogwu was missing for 1 year and emere ụlọ ya attack na Ụmụahịa. Ejekwara ebe ọ nọ. The same leadership ha edere ya n'Israel. Nke ugbu a ya nọ 8 days ha jụọ gị ka ihe leadership na-eme ha ma ebe awa leader nọ 8 days ejekwa anyị ka ebe ọ nọ 1 year. Stupidity of a black man. 1 year anyị nọ na-eme campaign ha bụ anyị ozu director 1 year esokwa na sabotage. 8 days ka esi anyị gwa gị ihe mere director. Ugbu a ha na-aga court ka ihe director ji aga court ma ọ bụ na anyị likiri gị secret ihe mere. You know some people na-agba overspeed and they overspeed emu Ishmael ọ ihe mere Abraham ihe ịkpa alakpu ha ga and ha ga amụwa Ishmael and all confusion because ị na-agba ụzọ ị na-agba ụzọ ị na-amaghị ụzọ ị na-amụ ụzọ ị na-amụ agba ụzọ ị na-agba ụzọ ị na-amaghị ị ga ụzọ ị na-agbabe before ị ga amebe pothole ụnụ ị need in overspeed ị ga amebe sharp bending nọ. Oh, here none of the matter. This is Ogwai story. They brought it to our fathers. Hand no defense. Hand chopping in defense again. Defense again. Our daughter Kubua. Ibali Belu Amabia. Amabia Haga Laza. They will molest you. Again we got as a quiver. They defend our people. A labone Bapa. Can they get what DOS? But all you baliebe. DOS or Wagabalebu. The same people who send agent, Kabali in our community, Kabali and her boss, I may be a house again. Dear, should send our men, Aaron Abag, Bega Ebali, Ebrahan Abali. You that shoot gun, they are not defend there. No, because you are an agent. So, only with a question, Yajo, in IPOB in Ado Biafra. I am with the IPOB registered in different parts of the world. Now, some people get confused on what I say. Everybody born in the eastern region of Biafra is IPOB by birth. Yes. But in my right, he discussed IPOB structure. He get discussed Biafra. Do you know why? Dave Umahi IPOB by birth. Uzodema IPOB by birth. But he is not led by Nnamdi Kanu. Even IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, they took oath. But the whole Biafrans are not carrying her along. The director say carry her along. But you ruterege, nega ro. How? And we can order sit at home. Isorogo. Or who must nega wipe your family member? You are not there. Now, we talk ordinary religion, my Christianity. If we can discuss here, I need discuss Christ. You will join. It doesn't matter your church. I need discuss the Bible. You will join. I need discuss heaven. You will join. Macon here, Jikoranion. And they discuss Christianity, you join. But the Catholic discuss watch a plate. You get in assembly, be a condemn boy. Oh, your business, but can't me ha condemn obey. You got to be a Catholic in her weapon, Mary. On behalf na Bible and Ozaro, gave her with a good day, because I who know Quacoritara. Church doctrine, or we who know Quacoritara, different by different. We talk about the IPOB. In a don't worry when we must up, and when those, oh, when Simon actually don't worry when you go in a director, he use your hack. Don't bring Kanu closer because in your believe me, he got a guy there. Near account of it. You can't use my name, him not get more account. In account on me. On your hand, you come on your deal, didn't make an hire, then you are evil. The only thing I'm not confused on now about Biafra, you can't reason. Now, Madu Biafra, what is freedom under government plan does not mean no young, intelligent, Emmanuel name with trade. Mamad may with trade destruction in a team, Yataka, when I hate to defend the Kedu village, ya, Cable or Hano. I'm your Gago Park, you know, had before. The time in a park in all of Benjamin Madbu. I'm in Maulo Kano, Keda address when you nature in the agent. Kedu village, ya, Kedu direct Ben Muashi from Diabo. I'm from Mundiabo and in local government, Ojiva province, Biafra land. The whole world of Mara, maybe Kedebish. Come web trade tweet Shehu Sane. Shehu Sane say, Eba from Black India. Eba reply, yeah. Shehu from Southern Sudan. Why not reply, Yonebo? Shehu Sane from Kaduna, Adamakwama. This was projected. This is a man who said Nnamdi Kanu no ga apology. Makihe America Kremat. Adamakwama. Simon Eba. Na video. Oh, ya gwara mgbe after ịhụbe vidio gị na-asị na okay Nnamdi Kanu na aga ya apology to ekwere mmadụ ihe mere na Germany. Ọkwa ya nwa tweetiri sị na ndị a na-eme Ado Biafra anaghị disturb business ndị mmadụ ihe afa back tweet ya na ha miscreant na otu esi eme Biafra. After emechara ekwere mmadụ ihe a ha niile ọnọdụ ya o so ha bịa. He was there with ekwere mmadụ ha ọha nwa ndị isi ọhaneze na Finland. Simon was there. E mere interview ka ihe ọhụrụ ya sịrị ihe mere ya adịghị mma na Kanu ga-ayị apology. Ebe nke a nọ mee the meeting ekwere mmadụ ha nọ aplanụzie ka store ya ha bịa project ihe onye nọ na platform ya emere Atiku campaign 2019 ha sizi oke ka channel Auto Biafra ha wetawezie exposition from Nigerian politics. Abịa ha eweta ihe onye Hausa ma onye Fulani mere nye ya gụọ na exposition to attract you. Ozugbo emere attract ha plot ndị ga-emit director recommend onye atọ ya nwa. Ha nwekwa ndị meet director recommend ya ka onye anọ na platform ya ka ọ bịa dị mee interview. Ịhụ ihe anyị na-ahụla na struggle then ịma na ihe ahụ na-aka ahụhụ struggle. Unu just hang ya n'elu mmadụ gbalị egbe elu ịmali hey our men ịmaghị the danger. So ọ dị gị ka director command anyị mebiwe ha ya ga-emebi. Kedu the repercussion? The world will condemn you because of way he sign. Ebe ọ sign ihe nọ open. Ị ga sign self determination bịa bulie am. Mgbe ị ga-ebuli am mgbe ị mechara self determination ha jụ also when we reach to the last point and there is no other route to follow then we strike. By then we have followed the due proceedings. What they did to our father is what they want to do to us. Global conspiracy. Russia block Goye. Here we don't go meeting us of our oil. The only channel when now oil line, you can hand in Nigeria Naba, and I say my terrorists. I bought somewhere under 5 days, including Sunday. By forcing. I have to see release Kanu, Cassin, I will terrorists, educate terrorists now, share the oil. America bring Nigeria to Kanu a fighter. To fight terrorists, he used to why? IPOB draw to US government. See how na terrorists are no ever. No anyone can actually do when and the Yoruba. US are nezo that say they use Kwalena East, they use Lana South. Since I use Ghana North. They now want to create a scenario that the whole world man na with terrorists, name insurgents in Alibo. So that I wasn't okay, or I use it here. But onamage, onana akwaka onwoge. As if na ka nwe obi ana agba ya egbe ndị a na-atụda anyị egbe n'ugwu ọcha ya nọ n'ele ha sị ha shoot ịka anyị nwe obi agba ya okirikiri na National High School anyị ka nọkwa na-akụ aka enye anyị ọda na amadụ niile agba ọsọ gọvanọ niile agba ọsọ they knew ugbu a na amadụ niile agba ọsọ ịnụ ha na oke ọ gwara IPOB nyere sitachi ma na trouble ga-adị ndị ụka ga-ekwu okwu on them ndị nyere order Monday Tuesday sit at home right ha na-enye different illegal and onwebe nke rụrụ ọrụ duto na ihe ederede ime nke a ikwo nke a agafe ikwo nke a agafe ikwo ị ga-ekwukwe result dịkwa after ma hapụrụ because ederede ihe ederede wote eche eme ya ikwo nke a agafe ikwo nke a agafe ikwo nke a agafe October ka agwa gị na flag ga nọ the Biafra land ihe a niile ị na-eme gị obiọma anyị adịghị ime mmadụ obiọma Dọkịta anyị akọla mmadụ ihe na-aga eme ka anyị gwa ya otu ọ dị iwe ọ na-ewe gị onwe gị anọkọta bịa mee gị obi ụtọ na Biafra na-abịa mgbe mmadụ nye gị deeti Biafra ọ mgbe ị ga-agawara onwe gị mgbe mmadụ nye gị deeti mgbe Biafra na-abịa na-agụrụ gị ya gwazie gị na ọ chọrọ ka director pụta ọ ka ọ pụta bịa restọ ya gịnịkwa ebe gị nwa na-enwela Biafra nwee deeti mgbe ọ ga-abịa ga-ezikwana ihe director na-abịa ifriz kwuo udo dị ajụ ka ị ga-ajụ ọmụ ajụ broadcast
o nwere okwu Simon Ekpaku mgbe a ejide Mazi na Kenya ọ na-aba mba sị kedu ihe mere na DOS ejijide Kanu for 8 days o nwere ka ha si wee chọpụta na-eji ya onye isi para mata na-ekwu na DOS ri bribe anadụgbe m ya na ọnụ Tinasa Nworu
na gịnị mekwe
na ọ na-edefend ndị onwe na Nigeria na-asị na highly bribe.
Olee point gị or 8 days because
8 days
that ị nọ n'ebe a since ọkwa ya na-ele anya n'elu na-ekwucha ya gị laghachi ebe ahụ ka m laghachikwe ịma na o nwere mmụọ na-anọ m n'ihu ọ na-anọ m n'ime ọ na-abanye mmasị akweshọn ụfọdụ nọ mmadụ n'obi because I'm on I to question. I am a broadcaster. But no here, working a director, name only attack in Omahi. Yeah, now September 14. Mbomina appear in Israel October 14, 2018. But on 27, 1 year, give me a joke 1 year, born 1 year. Or you bribe 1 year. They don't you bribe 1 year, Buga direct Israel. So direct him and not supremely the man and made a statement. But you have a Facebook attack. Don't you know an name direct statement? But also come when a bank when alone on it. Director Jirejo for Koga represented director. Now occasion now Nnamdi Kanu, but represented by a Joffo. Igba terrorists, barrister visited director, terrorists are named lawyer. Iya uchi here Simon Hanaka. Igba when he gave me Nigerian government agwazegi na Nigerian intelligence na Abuja na ha chọpụta go na ESN chọrọ ịbịa ma attack at DSS facility. And na ha chọrọ keep Kanu in a safe place. By then Ebudi Ajaji Barak. Ototo enye mamere. Terrorists does not have lawyer. Terrorists does not have lawyer, but to have lawyers. Did you understand? So 8 days Juzi onwegi. Onya na agwage, ma onya na eme madlile, ma nwunye director, onye oshi, ore director. Ndi be director reria. IPOB leadership re director, lawyers re director. Yanwa wuzi holy man. No, I want to know now. Director Okwandi Anko na use na secure veterinary. Gị nwa wuzi holy man we be ihe nyere ya. Ọkwa the same lawyers na secure ya veterinary in Nigeria n'olu. The man no court ruling in Nigeria. Oya me ha jinye Simon agenda of election. That is their only escape route. To make sure na in IPOB tiraka na disruption of election, which is against civil rights and against international law. Men IPOB ji gwa ha na yeti ebe onu ni election ya cho referendum ha ya na etimpe election since emecha gwa ya ga ebe na make campaign ya di ndi ga eyi okwu Biafra ga me attack asikwa IPOB ya sị na owu anyi Leno mokiri ochi ime Peter Obi attack ya ku IPOB sit at home yo ku IPOB o make reach ha chọrọ ka IPOB join ya Peter Obi we fail ha chọrọ ka can't election isi ha no election ha egbu politician ha gbu asa IPOB. I mean, why idea? But Simon Etine election, Owutebe, do to again. How many high 70% of followers already? From Lorito Onochie, contracted student union, a go phone nya. Onye fulani na Zahibo na Facebook. The whole Facebook will Lorito Onochie mepere. Logo in na phone. Nyecha here, and I have 14,000, day 15, day 30. Ihe ma we be Simon na ekwogu. All the way Simon all the joy here or magia. Just now here gwara ya de ogula. Or you telling us we don't know. Gwa mo ke ga gwa ya na amagi. Onweghi meaning IPOB ekwugi an odege. If somebody try to force you into criminality. How you get meaning? You want to kill yourself by yourself. A whole director lecture and na Monday gauge day and any court you will get a boy. In my home or suspend the IPOB leadership. That or cancel again the sit at home Monday. In my home. Yeah, move suspend their Monday, move to the date of court. Experienced man. Do you know what it means? It is all the easy to explain to anybody that now my people are in solidarity with me because I goes to court. Now, okay, your statement on Monday. Now ask yourself, why did Nnamdi Kanu suspended it? Government agwaze Simon hijaring bank commit to a crime. Now I commit a crime. The media saw IPOB. IPOB has seen a one. Then Simon Haga becomes no one. Your dodge kwa rukwe next Monday hate we. Echem ko ime ihe bu nwe otuto. Enye mmadu otuto ye ga asemba na omu wanwe ya. Now we not say IPOB otuto ha reject ya di otuto. For 1 year you take it otuto. Inye be na account ka emereme. But IPOB DESN ka eme enforce open grazing ma oloba. Fulani to embo ha gwa gi na ha wa mere. No ESN mere ye ge megene. But ESN go ESN and so okay, go see video. Now ESN go ESN. It is not a criminal manner. na-eme criminality. Do you know that people che know ESN one non-government? So these are things people like 70% now ESN. But why we cheered the non-government earlier is because I heard the answer to our prayer. Because I be like governor Azari, senator Azari, I look at how they may attack government. That was not the one. Never known their kind of attack. No problem. Not watching a kid. Did you understand? Now, after her Charia, Indian Kuba now they are not go burial. Okay, non-government. And Hanagi Hassan how ESN. Imagine a criminal that cannot be proud to commit crime with his as a name of criminal. Only a criminal on a JD card. How come you come to collect ransom? No, you ESN. Then you were plotted by the governors. All these criminals, Simon Amaha initially. The names, the contact in the Naka governor. Unyobula with a criminal and the political talks there and hand that over to Yama. Call them and give them order to commit crime. Simple. Many don't know them. But ESN have aim reform. ESN will shorty. ESN I am Unyobula ESN personnel a bush. India name have one harm. So what we are doing is so that Mbega Koako Biafra, had we allowed them to destroy ESN, villages carry protest. I saw ESN, and those who BBC Iburia, you are gone. But I make it sure. Now I don't didn't make crime. You go down where you low to Madushi on Ali, only Igbo, you should declare armed struggle. No, na Israel, governor but I feel be governor because they gave the instruction. Hello, to my declare my government in Israel. Usbi declare I'm a bidobuani. Usbi declare I'm a bidobu. But he declared he go see army. That is fake. And they get mentioned 2, 3, or 4 cabinets, which your people will appoint for you. Your people will appoint for you because you will discuss with your people in any other hand or enforcement. Civility cannot be enforced, and you can't enforce it at home. Oh, you are civil. If you enforce it, it's not civil. I need to make campaign here already. So maybe I was a civil. Now let me sit at home. I made voluntarily. Kaina no akan. Nde burebu buria. The whole violence condemned that peaceful one I made Nayad. Do you know why? Onwe bu onye put a press release si na ta Monday na anyi in charge. But IPOB may imapo of a press release. Onye press release UN away the press release file lawyer. Are you aware? Now a man in neighbor Monday man able to IPOB. A man defender na UN. Each and every back on any newspaper. Mbe na na paper enye gi UN. Oza be IPOB. Imapo of a press release to counter it. My people are more going on. When we had the challenge food, in my IPOB message, I use the normal law. Normal law. They have one. Ni one man na be anyotion azology. Jidea, makajola mahas na one how. I IPOB could. Onya name first sit at home. I say no one you. In who ya Jidea, Nigerian police may arrest. Now, their name is Simon. Hey, when did the DOS started working with DSS? They told police to arrest our men. Now, leave and I honor and I honor criminal. How come Obodo Kanebaki Akwi Konso, but Obodo Nangongo, na baby one, Nangongo, baby bush, Nangongo, na double lion. Onyoshi won Angongo. It's one mother won a non-uju. He can't say Richard Beuji, but Undoshi now, Obodo with information, no Yoshi. But he can't who politician with information, Obodo with information. Because they're all your nature. But he didn't disturb Obodo. All the ordinary person get with information about age day. Do you see why those criminals these in Nigeria? We don't, yes, I know about the age day. On back IGBT in Nigeria. I have Biasa, Neho Hajidea. How many questions no IPOB, I say, okay, now you got bang and down and may have. Mawana Hakosia. Someone has said, I am, I answer, okay, Kai Baha, I have was they are calling the names of our men. on radio for the army to catch them. Did you understand? Mbobule ịkpọrọ meeting n'obodo ka fight ya criminal ndị na-aghasa ya ndị ahụ na-commit. Mbobule plan for echekwa ebe a onye ọbụla aghasara ya ọha nwa ndị na-commit crime. So ihe a na-emewu ka anyị na-edo ndị mmadụ anya because director adịghị after ma ịlọsụrụ but ihe ọ ga-eje ejidego ihe ndị anyị gwara gị. So ọhịa m na-agwa unu m jọsịrị gbabata ebe a ejituo m masị ka m dotu anya. So unu jichi ike onye gwara gị na-enwe sit at home gwakwa ya na ọ onye iro gị o. 1 mmadụ emetụbe director onye dị mmegbu ọ nọkwa dị na-eti ya enwekwa rekọdụ Nnaemeka ziri o sendịrị mapụ afọ mmecha ugbu a mee play kwari unu nke esendịrị mapụ afọ from barista Nnaemeka Ejiofọ ka m play yari unu ma emecha. Thank you ụmụ Chineke. I will be bringing it to an end from here. Ka Chukwu abịa ma gọzie unu ebe ọ bụla unu nọ. Ihe kacha wụ favor ọkwa favor ka o nyere Joseph to the extent that na Potiphar chọpụtara na Joseph nwee favor. Ọkwa ya ka the same Joseph ji gaa na nke Fero ahụkwa favor. Ọ ya ka anyị na-ayọ n'isi unu ka favor ya dakwasị unu nwa bekee hụ unu ka o lefekwere n'anya na ebubo Naijiria bụrụ anyị na-eme ha hụ unu ha na-enyo unu. Ka Chineke nye unu ihu ọma ebe ọ bụla unu nọ. Ndị ka nọkwa n'ala Biafra o nwere ndị iro n'ebe a bịara igbu anyị ịmakwa otu isi na-emehie ya ihu ha na ngwa ọgụ ha nọ hie since ha mere years ha egbuchabeghị anyị. Eze udo mewekwenụ ya nara ekele n'ihi na iji Nnamdi Kanu zodo ha okwu n'isi. Nara ekele otu isi mee ha disobey court order. Imele eze udo n'ihi na anyị ma na ọ last miracle. Director sị na ha ga-eme ihe niile kwụsị anyị ọkwa na ya ka ha na-eme. Ọ sị na ha ga-agba mbọ niile na ọ gaghị awa ọkụ. Nara ekele nara otuto ihe anyị na-eji akpọ gị bụ na oge ka o prezentịrị. Ọ sị na ọ gị nwa ọhụkwa na onye ọzọ na-egosiri anya ọ gị nwa Chukwu abịa ma mgbe ọbụla anyị abịakwute gị anyị jisi gị ike ụta Elijah jijisie gị ike mgbe ha chọrọ ịkpọ chi ga-eji ọkụ eri aja. Elijah nwere ihe ọ gwara gị ọ sị na ọ bụ na ime ala Baal were ọkụ ri aja n'ugwu ga alago because na ịma na Baal na-ejikwa ọkụ eri aja. Ọkwa ya nwa mere iji gbanyụọ ọkụ ndị amụma Baal ma elu ma ala ọkụ enwughị. Ọkwa ya ka anyị nyere gị Chineke anyị nwekwere gị nke a n'olu na anyị ga-eji Biafra efe gị. Ọ gwụla onwe ihe ọzọ ka ụmụ anyị gwa ndị mmadụ na enwere chi maka ha echefugo chi. Imele eze udo n'ihi na ebu chi lakwa ndị iro anyị n'iyi ma ndị ka ịka na-ezo ezo mekwe ka ha pụta anyị na-atụ ụjọ. Ihe anyị na-ediri yuzu anyị eyuzula sọsọ angel anyị dị ready maka anyị dị capable. So ndị na-ezo ezo mee ka ha pụta ihe so that mgbe director ga-apụta ka ọ na ya alụgbuola ha ka director hụ free way ka o nwee ike duru anyị gawa n'aha gị chi ukwu okike abịa amara pụrụ ime ihe niile. We have prayed. Ise. Thank you ụmụ Chineke. From me the fearless IPOB evangelist Mazi Nwachukwu, and from here our homeland radio Biafra. It is
It is 1:42.
Okay, it is good afternoon. Thank you.
Good evening, great Biafrans, wonderful people and beautiful people. Permit me to welcome you this evening. It is indeed a great day, a day that Chukwu Kikabiama have made. And of course, we have come this evening to do the noble. All right, this evening, of course, it is indeed a great evening because this evening we will be having the erudite barrister of IPOB. He is a senior counsel of IPOB. I must try as much as I can to get this straight, to get it correct. Very, very important. But I will be having Barrister Ejiofo. He will be joining me this evening, and of course, and he will be talking to Biafrans this evening. I need to introduce him very well. It is important that we do that. Of course, he is IPOB lead counsel and senior counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the person of Barrister Ejiofo. And of course, he is a busy man, as you know, and without wasting further time, I want to see if I can connect him directly because of his time. We don't need to waste time, but of course, I need to welcome Biafrans wherever you are this evening. And if you are hearing the sound of my voice this evening, my names are Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha. HAUSA, and of course we are live, we are direct, and it is indeed so. Radio Biafra is where you are. All right, I think I have Barrister already with me, and because of our time issue, let me see if the barrister can hear me. Good evening, Barrister. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you clear, very clear.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Ejiofor, and we welcome you to Radio Biafra. It is constructive argument with Mazi Onoha, and Biafrans all around the world have joined in this evening to listen to our erudite barrister, the man who has been doing exploits, of course, in the field of his specialization. Barrister, we welcome you once again. Please, without wasting time, of course, I will give you a few minutes to talk to Biafrans, to greet Biafrans, and then, of course, we will get straight to the question. Over to you, Barrister.
Thank you so much. Good evening from here, Biafra. Good morning from here, and good afternoon. Thank you so much, Mr. Kechuku, for having me at the program.
Thank you very much.
The pleasure is not mine. We are, of course, I'm still working. We are fighting it on to ensure that our victory is actualized. And I can see green light as I speak to you. So something good is about to happen. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Barrister, and welcome. All right, Barrister, let's get straight to it. Of course, a lot of legal jargon has been spoken, and the laymen need to comprehend this evening, and that is why we brought you on, so that you can break it down to a layman perspective. Now, let's start from Kenya, Barrister. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was abducted from Kenya and brought to Nigeria. Please, can you take us through, in a nutshell, what exactly transpired before we get where we are today? Over to you, Barrister.
Well, for that appreciation of the part of the entire part of the case, it's important for us to, first of all, understand what happened on September 14, 2017, because that is the origin of the entire problem. Of course, you are aware that on 14th of April 2017, our indefatigable client, Kanu, was granted bail by the Federal High Court at Abuja, and the matter was subsequently adjourned to October 17th for trial, and he left home for bail and abide by the conditions and terms of bail. So on between 10th and 14th of September 2017, Nigerian Army invaded his premises in an clear attempt to eliminate him. Now we established about 5 persons were killed, gruesomely murdered in the process, and he eventually escaped by act of providence. So finally found himself in the state of Israel, so wherein he deposed stability of part of what happened in his home on 14th of September 2017. The part of the incident, being an eyewitness account, was subsequently filed before Federal High Court Abuja here, inviting the court therein to inquire and investigate what actually led to the body invasion of his home, a person who was granted bail by the court, who is apparently under the protection of the court, and without allowing him to come to court on October 17th for trial, the war was taken to his house in a clear mission to eliminate him. That application was not had until this year May. However, the Nigerian government, of course, moved to Kenya, abducted him in a commando style, kept him somewhere in collaboration apparently with the Kenya authority, kept him in an isolated environment, subjected him to all forms of torture. After spending 8 days, they criminally smuggled him into Nigeria and took him to court on the 29th of June 2021 without reference to us. During that illegal proceedings, he was ordered to be remanded in DSS custody. Also very interesting to note that when he was abducted in Kenya on the 19th of June 2021, 4 days after, or there are a few days after, the prosecution went to court without reference to us also. That was on 23rd of June 2021, and mentioned the case without reference to us. And then we have not been able to establish contact with him. So, unknown to all that were in court, obviously making preparation for him to report to Nigeria. Then on 29th, he took him to court. So when he was abducted in Kenya, Because you are using the word abducted, having been confirmed by the court and established before the court that he was actually abducted. The Nigerian government, the good agent that went to Kenya to pick him, never subjected him to any form of extradition proceedings to determine whether or otherwise he has committed offense that will require him to be extradited to Nigeria. These are international instruments which Nigeria is a state party to. They violated this international laws, convention, and protocol, and attempt to forcibly bring it to Nigeria. So, of course, we are aware the position of international law. And even Nigerian law, which also refers to Section 15 of the Extradition Act, and also OAU Convention and Protocol on Prevention and Combating of Terrorism, and Article 12.4 of African Charter of Human and People's Rights. These are laws Nigeria is a state party to. So we filed an objection before the court. That's grounded on so many about 2 grounds. First ground is challenging the powers of the court to proceed with trial without, first of all, determining the manner in which was brought before her court. This fundamental issue was raised. The court the lower court never determined those issues. And the Nigerian government never resolved issues with us in that respect. So we went on appeal. And appeal found for us and said that what happened in Kenya is executive recklessness. And by violating international and local laws, that no trial in Nigeria, no court in Nigeria will ever try Nnamdi again.
All right, Barrister, sorry to interrupt you before you get to the appeal court. I want you to explain to Biafrans what is the meaning of jurisdiction, because people don't understand what jurisdiction is all about. People are saying no. Okay. Please go ahead. Explain to them exactly what is jurisdiction.
Let me explain it in a layman language.
Thank you very much.
You see, before a court will adjudicate or will handle any matter, the court will determine, first of all, whether the parties are proper before the court, whether the subject matter, the cause of action, brought before the court, as such, will the court have powers to execute upon, whether the court is properly constituted to handle that matter. And whether the court has powers, it has powers to look into that matter. If there's any vice of any form, which will not permit the court to proceed with hearing, it will first of all be determined upon. Because if the court had proceeded to conduct the trial or hear the case, then probably when we eventually get a big court, and a big court found that the court not supposed to move on with that matter, without first of all determining the fundamental issues raised before him, then that trial the court conducted will be a nullity. No matter how beautiful it has been conducted, has been done, or the length of evidence or the quality of evidence so far adduced before the lower court. So it simply means powers of the court to hear or adjudicate a particular matter or a subject before him. That's all.
All right. Thank you very much for clearing that out. Which means we are dealing with 2 issues here. Number 1 is jurisdictional issue, and number 2 is violation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu fundamental human rights. And these 2 alone is enough to discharge and acquit him. Please go ahead.
Now, you see, let me explain this in further. That was why I actually made effort in posting page 41 as contained in the legal document delivered in the Court of Appeal. When we talk about the start, and also we also have a conversation when I talk about acquittal, it's being governed by a different principle of law. If you talk about that, the start can happen when probably someone has got, when the proof evidence or probably the proof attached in proof of the charge are not established to face, or where the court has no jurisdiction, like in this case, to proceed with the hearing, the applicant or the person involved can be discharged. Now, there are circumstances under which a person's discharge can as well be acquitted. That acquittal can happen where an evidence has been given in two of the case. Probably when the prosecutor has called one witness to give evidence in two of the case, then and before the division of the court is challenged. In that case, the court will not stop at discharge. The court can also acquit because evidence has given. But even if the person hasn't been cross-examined, the law says you will discharge him and acquit. But what happened in this case is more fortifying, more stronger in terms than acquittal. And now let me say this to you. I will give you a live case. Sometime last 3 months, I was in a state to argue our application or no case submission. Some people were arrested, about 13 of them, and accused of being involved in some offenses. Evidence were led by the prosecution witnesses. Exhibits were tendered. And at the conclusion of the prosecution case, we file an objection. We file what they call no case submission, inviting the court to hold that evidence led by the prosecution witnesses are not strong enough to establish the bogus charge preferred against these people. Of course, then you must have seen your television over the social media then. Then the court at the end of the day found for us. The court accordingly discharged those 57 cases and acquitted them of the crime allegedly committed in the court judgment. Now, what these people did, on the day the matter was coming up for judgment, obviously the matter had a hint that the judge would discharge and acquit them. Our application having been found meritorious, they went and filed a different charge altogether. Sort of murder, belonging to a local society, sort of illegal possession of arms, which is a different type altogether, which has no connection with earlier charge that they were discharged and acquitted. On the day the judgment was read before the court, and upon the conclusion of the judgment, they were served with this charge. And now, they quickly picked them up. They are sent back to the court. So now, in this case, what happened is more than acquittal. Because assuming without considering to the fact, assuming that the court discharged and acquitted him of these offenses or charge that has been struck out, some people can go and probably develop another charge, and which has no connection with the one before the court, and fight against you. Now, so I want to explain to you, for you to understand that what happened in the Oriental States is more powerful than anything as discharge or acquittal. Now, the court in judgment, specifically at page 41, I will read it for everyone to understand and I'll explain it. The court at page 41 holds that the consequence of this section, the court was actually referring to argument under section 15 of the Extradition Act, Cap E25, Laws of the Federation 204. This was a law ratified and operational in Nigeria. The court was assigned to this section and the court holds that the consequence of this section, I hold, is that the appellant, that is Onyendu, is prohibited from being detained, tried, or otherwise dealt with in Nigeria for or in respect of any offense allegedly committed by him before his extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. The lower court thus has no jurisdiction, I further hold, to try the appellant, that's Onyendu, on count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 15, which were returned by it. Being charges allegedly committed by that appellant, that's Onyendu, prior to his extraordinary rendition. In addition, by the possible abduction and extraordinary rendition of the appellant, that's Onyendu, from Kenya to this country, on the 27th day of June 2021 in violation of international and state law. You know what court? Or indeed any other court. You know what court means? The Federal High Court. Or indeed any other court in this country, Nigeria, is divested of jurisdiction to entertain charges against the appellant, and I so hold. So this decision is extra. It shows that you can never investigate him again. You can never present any charge against him. You can never file any charge against him. He can never be subjected to any trial whatsoever in any court in Nigeria. So the decision is more powerful than even a put out on the charge in principle. So that's why they are indelible. And they have no option than to obey this decision of the Second Appeal. So I believe I've explained it in a manner people will understand. So what happened in his case is more powerful than Akuta and this guy. In Akuta, somebody who is acquitted of an offense can still be arrested on a different offense and charged to court. But in this case, he can never be charged on any offense whatsoever in any court in Nigeria. That's the decision of the court. So go on.
Barrister, so can you explain to me the term? Because the way I see it, it appears that the Attorney General is trying to make something out of nothing. Can you explain that term to me and Biafrans and our listeners? Making something out of nothing, because that's basically what the Nigerian government is trying to do in this matter. Please go ahead.
No, what happened is that placing something, if I can understand you, placing something without, okay, placing something on air.
That's correct. That's correct.
Now, what it means in effect is that the duties of the court to defend that matter, to try only before now, before the decision of this court is not there. So the court cannot proceed when there is no jurisdiction. So that's what it means that it cannot place something on a person and expect it to stand. It must fall. That's that principle. So because it must have power, it must have jurisdiction to stand. You can't just stand on the air. You must have a ground where you stand. But in this case, the lower court, the Federal High Court has no stand, has no ground where you stand. Where you stood before we went to court of appeal. So that's what means that we cannot place something on nothing and expect it to stand. So that is the meaning of it. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
All right. No, brilliant and it's excellent. Okay. Talk to me now the way forward, Barrister. Of course, the law is on our side. What is the way forward? Because as I know, and from what you are saying, the federal government of Nigeria is holding your client, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, illegally at the moment as we speak now. What is the way forward? Please go ahead.
The way forward is simple. They have practically, as I have demonstrated before now, run out of option. The only option available to them, are you with me?
Yes, go ahead.
Which I stated before now, is option for them to go to court appeal. If they are convinced that they can succeed, we have no problem. Right of appeal is a constitutional right. Now, they cannot go to court of appeal without obeying the other court.
They have to release him first.
They can't go to Supreme Court without obeying the order made by the court of appeal. So you must pause yourself, because as you speak today now, as I speak to you, Ikechu,
yes,
what you do is being illegally and unconstitutionally held in custody of the DSS. There is no court order today sanctioning his further detention from 13th of October. That judgment was delivered till date. So he's now being, in the eyes of law, he's now being illegally held in the custody of DSS. He's now being unconstitutionally held in the custody of SSS. So that's what we are now. And as it stands today, Nigerian government is now incompetent of orders made by the Court of Appeal on 13th of October 2022. Now, and they cannot go to Supreme Court to challenge the judgment of the Court of Appeal without obeying that order. So it cannot be in contempt of court order. And exploring or seeking a suitable remedy for Supreme Court. No. Because he who goes to equity must go with clean hands.
Absolutely.
And we have plethora of authorities that say that when an order is standing, you must obey that order first before coming back to lay a complaint. So the people call obey before complain. And we have cases of that, plethora of cases. The same case of action against the federal government. The federal government is still stand. Federal government went to the court. However, it was argued. Another was made. International order was made. Directly asked to call off the industrial action. They also went to court of appeal to challenge it. The court of appeal say, no, there's an order made by the National Industrial Court. You already in contact of this order. Go back and obey the order first and come back. Go and obey this order. Then come back and demonstrate their anger before us. We also have a case of Chief Chinedu against FRN. West Supreme Court mandated the federal government to go and obey the order of the appeal before coming to it. So only in this case will not be an exception. So we have the federal authorities sanctioning the position. So the only option we have today is to release him unconditionally. Unconditionally. The court didn't say, please release him to Mr. XYZ, no. Or release him to Ikechukwu where you are, no. Because I called for prohibited foreign detention. In the judgment of this court, the court prohibited foreign detention where is being kept now. So everything they are doing today in regards to Oyenduma and Kanu flight is tainted with illegality. So and we are exploring aggressively legal options that will compel immediate obedience. I may not discuss it in this platform, but we are making slow progress. And I can assure you we are seeing green light. We shall not discuss here. We are seeing green light. We can take that to the bank.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister. Barrister, I know you're a busy man, and of course, I promised you that I'm not going to keep you for longer. But before I let you go, Barrister, I want you to give some assurance to Biafrans because people are waiting. People, the celebration is on, but somehow it is still on hold and they are waiting for the climax. What assurance will you give to Biafrans that our erudite leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will be with us very soon? Please go ahead.
My brother, it goes without saying. You see, like, how can I explain this? What is playing out now is not unexpected. It's not unexpected. I will end at that part. It's not unexpected. And because what the autocratic government of Nigeria Spain put in place, the kind of resources they put in place, in effectively and successfully carrying out abduction of Oyenduma Kanu from Kenya is massive. It's monumental. So, but today, they cannot go further than here. Because law is on our side now. Their own law, they are not the Kenyan law. Their own law. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Right.
Their own law is not on their side. What happened to them today? So what is stopping us is their own law. They cannot, it's settled. They cannot go further than this. I can assure Biafrans all over the world. Take it from me. We have done it before. And we're doing it again. We've done it again actually. So the point is that they should be as assured that Oyenduma will out as soon as possible. And what I know, I will not say. It's the time and the day. But Oyenduma is coming out as quick as possible. And when it comes out, I will carry a bit and let the world know. Let's just go home and sleep. We are on top of the station. And we are doing everything legally permissible to ensure that the right thing is done. And as I assured you, the Nigerian government is totally run out of options. They have no remedies available to them, legal remedies available to them. And I wish you have a position of the government of the court. You will see that government is watertight. There's no way you were escaping. There's no way you can escape that government. It's watertight. So That is the position.
All right, barrister. As you can hear the barrister say, go home and sleep. And of course, if there is anybody who can do it, it is our legal team. They have done it before in 2015, and I don't see any reason why it should not be repeated. Barrister, the last question, barrister. Now, talk to me about compensation, because we're talking violation of his fundamental human rights. And of course, there should be some sort of compensation that will go with it.
Of course, before now, we have a suit. A suit to file against the government for extraordinary reduction of funding Mazi and Kanu. In that suit, before COP5, we are inviting the court to interpret legal sections of international laws and conventions, which I never said before now, which Nigeria has grossly violated in an attempt to abduct and eventually extraordinary reduction to Nigeria. In that suit, we are asking for damages of 50 billion. And thankfully, increasingly as it is now, the questions are inviting the lower court, high court to answer. The questions of law, they are inviting the lower court to answer in that suit, has been exhaustively dealt with in this appeal. So what we are doing on 14th of December when the matter is come up, is to submit this appeal, this judgment of an appeal, and ask the court to award them like this as requested. So they must be heavily compensated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, barrister. And of course, I thank you so much, of course, for making our time coming on air to clear the air for Biafrans. And of course, all the lovers of freedom who has been listening to us. Thank you, barrister. And of course, we will still celebrate because the big one is still coming. Thank you very much.
Sure.
All right.
God bless you. Thanks, sir.
And bless you too. All right, there you have it. And that was our erudite barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, breaking it down for us here to a layman perspective so that you can understand what is happening and how it is being played out. But one thing though you need to know and you need to bear in mind is that we have won. There is no two ways about it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu always said, I will defeat you at your courts. And that is exactly what played out. And I want to thank our able legal team, of course, led by Barrister Ozokome and, of course, Barrister Aloy everybody Ifeanyi Ejiofor, Aloy Ejimako, and the rest of the team for a good job that they are doing. And of course, this will earn them the greatest legal team of the year because they have done noble. Even with the limited resources, they have achieved results because the matter is over. It is over. What the zoo is doing now, of course, is the last kick of a dying horse. They have to obey. They have to obey the decision of the Supreme Court of the land, the highest court of the land, which is the appeal court in this instance. All right, great Biafrans, I don't have much to say this evening. You have heard it from our barrister. And it is our responsibility, of course, to now and then bring them up here so that they can explain to Biafrans what is happening, because this is the platform, the official platform of Biafrans all around the world. It is Radio Biafra, for goodness sake. And if there's any other place that this needs to be said, it has to be on this platform. And of course, it is constructive argument with Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha. Of course, this evening, today being the 18th day of October 2022, it is a Tuesday. And of course, I know we did not start the way we normally start because of time constraint. And as you can see, the barrister is a busy man. He needs to run around to begin to do what he needs to do, because Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must come out as soon as possible. And of course, that's why we have to let him go quickly. But of course, it is constructive argument here on Radio Biafra, and of course, we will be leaving it here. This is constructive argument on Radio Biafra with Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha. Bring your argument, and we've got the solution. Constructive argument. We hit below the belt. Radio Biafra. We've got you covered. All right, of course, it is Radio Biafra, and you can bet on it. We've got you covered. And of course, the person you heard is Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. He is IPO